I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world.
Presented by TrostLaw.com. Here's Ty Tracy.
Happy Football Friday. And like I said before, happy Football Friday, and welcome to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers show, pregame show presented by TrostLaw.com. I'm your host, Todd Tracy. Tonight, we got a great matchup on deck. Our Jefferson Forest Cavaliers hit the road to North Carolina. Yes, I said it before, North Carolina, to take on the powerhouse Mount Airy Granite Bears. It's going to be a good game tonight. I think this is the first time Jefferson Forest has played a team out of state. And like people said, how this happened? Apparently they had like a week open week 3 schedule, and they managed to put them on a schedule. So this is exciting to see how this is going to play out tonight. I think this is a good test for Jefferson Forest, really. I mean, a team that nobody doesn't know. I don't know. You don't know. And people are like, who is this team? But like either way, a team, I think they got some winning history, won back-to-back state titles. This is a great test for Jefferson Forest. This team was from single A. Now to Division 3 or 4, most likely 3, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, it's still a good test for Jefferson Forest to see how it plays tonight before they go to district play next Friday against Liberty Bedford. JF coming from a 40-7 win against Stan River Golden Eagles. They played great, but I know this is going to be a good test because I'm not trying to throw no shade or nothing, but I think Mount Airy is a better team than Stan River. And Stan River is a good team, but I think this team is just a step ahead than Stan River. No disrespect or anything to Stan River, but it's just Mount Airy's. Just look up the history. And right now, Mount Airy's coming from a bad loss from last week against Wutanga, 61-7, and I asked the coach what happened, and he said a lot of turnovers. And I'm like, how many? If you want to tell me, he was like 8. I'm like 8. He's like, yes. I'm like, wow, that's a lot. But anyway, exciting night. So I'm excited to see his day. Coach JT Cruz, I had a chance to talk to him. He said he's gonna treat this like a playoff game. So to see how things go out, he wanted to he said it's gonna be an ultimate test for his kids, especially stepping into next week before they start district play. So I'm excited about that. So we can see how things turn out tonight. So it's going to be really big. Not that much I don't know about the team, but still, regardless, you still got to get ready to play football no matter what. So I'm excited tonight. I know Coach JT Cruz is excited tonight. Then we got Ed Lane, Rick King to give you some football, JL football. Yes, they are down there at Mount Airy. So it was a trip for them as well. But they will give you some football. Nothing going to stop them. But it's going to be pretty good tonight. So I'm excited. I think they can do like they did last week against Stan River. Start off slow, then come out fast. This is a more disciplined team, a more stage-ready team, a team know has to win, know how to capitalize. And you got to think, but they come from a bad loss too, 61-7. So you know they are really hungry for a win and they want to get back on track. And even the coach Austin Taylor even mentioned that he said he want to get the team back on track from last week's loss and he knows how it feels. So as of right now, I got the interviews with the coaches before the game. We go to commercial break first, then we're going to head over with our Jefferson Forest Coach JT Cruz and he give his thoughts about tonight's game. So don't go nowhere. We'll be right back. You'll listen to Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a place for you. Here is more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact has a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
You've heard how easy it is to get life insurance on the radio and internet. But what they don't say is you may not be getting the very best rate. If you've been needing to buy life insurance, why not buy it from your JF sponsor, Andy Matthews, located right here in Lynchburg? You'll get the truth about buying life insurance, and you will have an agent who can discuss options that are right for your family. Contact Andy Matthews, a licensed Airy family life agent. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance.
When it comes to legal matters, there is no substitute for experience. Hi, I'm Randy Trost with Trost Law. We've gained knowledge from serving Virginians for over 4 decades. Since 1982, we've handled auto accidents and personal injury cases ranging from simple fender benders to complex tractor-trailer cases. And we're ready to put our experience to work for you. We hope you never need our services, but if you do, just give us a call at 777-HURT or visit us at trostlaw.com.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community support. Teamwork means the right console who truly listens to what you want and need for your home or business. Dedication is doing the job right and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit centralvaflooring.com and drop by Central VA Flooring on Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community spirit.
As a privately owned nonprofit organization, the Forest Youth Athletic Association thrives off volunteers. Volunteering with the FYAA ensures children throughout the Forest community have a local place to participate in sports like wiffle ball, t-ball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer, football, flag football, basketball, and cheer. FYAA depends on volunteers and needs your support, whether that's volunteering your time, money, resources, or a combination of your gifts. Visit forestyouth.org to learn more about how you can support FYAA.
Leaks on the offensive line, in the defensive secondary, or with special teams coverage create problems in football. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating knows leaks at your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants.
True health isn't about judgment, it's about empowerment. At Crossroads Family Dentistry, we partner with you to help you understand your options and make the best decisions for your health. In a supportive, non-judgmental environment, are you ready to take control of your total body wellness? Visit us on 221 in Forest or at crossroadsfamilydentistryva.com and call us today to schedule your appointment. Because when you feel good about your smile, you'll feel good about your health.
Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by trostlaw.com.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers pregame show presented by trostlaw.com. I'm Ty Tracy. Now, here is our head coach, the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers head coach, Coach JT Cruz. Ty Tracy with the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers pregame show presented by trostlaw.com. I'm joined by the man leading the Cavaliers, Coach JT Cruz. How you doing?
Doing good, Ty. Glad to be here.
Big win last Friday against Stanton River, 40-7. How do you feel about the game, and what stood out to you about your players' performance?
Feel good about coming out of that game with a win. Obviously, whenever you play a Bedford County rival like Stanton River, you know it's going to be a physical game, and that one was physical. I think our guys stepped up to the challenge, and although things got a little chippy at times there with the rivalry between the two teams, I thought we held it together for the most part, didn't let that affect our performance, and we went out there and executed really, really well. So I was proud of the way our guys played out there.
And can I say the first half kind of like y'all slowed down a little bit, but I know you weren't pleased by the first half, but the second half y'all actually picked it back up.
Yeah, I thought there were some opportunities that maybe we missed in the first half, throwing an interception that we should have never thrown. Anytime we turn the ball over, that's unacceptable. And so we left some points on the board there, and then defensively, just penalties and foolish mistakes, having our eyes in the backfield, things like that. gave up a big pass play that allowed them to score there. And so, again, against a team like that, if you make those mistakes, they're going to take advantage of it. And so we have to dial in and keep ourselves from making those mistakes.
I know defense played great the second half. I know it was like y'all wasn't pleased with, but defense actually turned around and played better in the second half.
Yeah, it's one of those deals where when we're doing our job, we're reading our keys, and we're being attentive to the details of what our responsibilities are on each play. We do a really good job, and we play really, really good defense. But whenever you have a lapse, whenever you let yourself wander, whenever you start trying to watch the ball and make a play versus doing your job, that's when you give up big plays. And so as a defense, we have to have all 11 players focused in and dialed in on what their job is on that play. And if we don't have that, we're not going to be successful. But when we do, when all 11 are dialed in, we can be really, really good on defense.
On the road tonight against Mount Airy Granite Bears, a team with a strong winning history and consecutive state titles. What stands out to you about them?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, right? They're a really, really good football team with a rich tradition of winning out there. And you turn on the tape, and that's what you see. You see a really, really good football team that is explosive on offense, that's physical, that likes to run the football, but can be dangerous in the passing game. And then defensively, you see some really, really good athletes flying around and making plays and being dangerous out there. And so they're a good football team, like you said, with a tradition of winning. And so whenever you play a team like that, you gotta take your game to the next level, knowing that those guys, because they've had so much success with that program, whenever they step on the field, they have that confidence that they are going to win that football game. And so we have to be able to have the confidence on our own end that, hey, we can compete with these guys. We can play with these guys. And I think our team fully understands and embraces that. But they understand the challenge at hand as well.
Facing a tough out-of-state opponent tonight, do you think this is a good opportunity to see where your team stands out before district play?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think this is a really, really good measuring stick for going into Seminole play. And honestly, when you turn on the film, that's what you see when you look at these guys is it looks like a very top-tier Seminole football team. Discipline, plays hard, has really, really good football players across the board. And that's what you're going to see in the Seminole district. So this is a good measuring stick for us. Absolutely.
Is scheduling out-of-state opponents something you would like to continue doing, challenge your team in different ways early this season?
Well, I think it's one of those things where we had a situation last year in the playoffs where we had to get on a bus and travel a good long way to go play a Sharando team. And that's something that's unique about the region that we play in, Region 4D, is that it's spread out. And there can be some pretty significant travel times between the teams when you get into some of the later playoff matchups. And so it's one of those things where we have an opportunity early in the season to experience a little bit of that so that, if it does come up, hey, I hope we're the 1 seed and we can host every game, right? But I want to prepare for every contingency. And so if it does come up and we do have to get on a bus and make a long trip again, we can say, hey, we've been there, we've done that, we've experienced that with this group this season. So it's not like a brand new experience for us. Our guys understand the expectations and have been through it before.
How would you describe your team's preparation, focus, and practice this week, especially with the big challenge they face tonight?
Yeah, I think it's been good. It's been good. Maybe one of the better weeks of practice that we've had all year. I think our guys, they understand the challenge at hand. They understand that the team that we are about to play is what you're going to see in the Seminole District, which is really, really good, explosive football. And if you don't show up, not just on Friday, but on Monday through Thursday too, you're going to go out there and you're going to get your butt kicked. And I think they understand that and have executed really, really well throughout this week of practice.
One last question before I let you go. In your opinion, with schools around the area like y'all, LCA, Heritage, scheduling out-of-state opponents, would you like to see more local teams around the area start scheduling out-of-state opponents to get themselves better before district play?
I don't know that I necessarily say that. I think it's just one of those things where sometimes you have a quirk of scheduling, right? Where we had a late drop on our schedule. And so looking around, trying to find anyone and everyone that we could play that also fit within our schedule. And it just so happened that Mount Airy had an opening week 3. We had an opening week 3. And so it worked out. I do think there's some unique opportunities in getting out there and going on a trip with your team and having that experience of playing a good out-of-state opponent that maybe you don't get when you play a local team. But on the other hand, too, I love Virginia football as much as anybody else, So I love playing Virginia teams and seeing how we stack up against some of the best teams in the state without having to travel out of state. So I think there's pluses and minuses. I don't know that it's necessarily something that I'd say I'd like to see more of, but it's definitely not anything that I'm opposed to.
Good luck there, Coach.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Young adults face unique stresses and challenges more than ever. That's why the Forest Youth Athletic Association's mission is providing a safe arena where growing children can learn the rules and values that come from athletic competition. FYAA sports like wiffle ball, t-ball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer, football, flag football, basketball, and cheer foster a culture of fair play and sportsmanship while developing skills and character that last beyond playing the game. Visit forestyouth.org to register for a sport or to share your time and resources.
Considering buying life insurance? Then ask Andy, your local Airy family life agent. Andy Matthews has been selling life insurance for 33 years right here in Central Virginia and has been a great sponsor of JF Athletics. Many Virginia families have Airy Family Life as part of their insurance portfolio. Look for the Andy Matthews Agency located on Waterlick Road right here locally, and not just an 800 number in some unknown office. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a place for you. Here is more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact has a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
Leaks on the offensive line, in the defensive secondary, or with special teams coverage create problems in football. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating knows leaks at your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants.
Warm weather means traveling. Hi, I'm Randy Trost from Trost Law with a couple of safety reminders. Always wear your seatbelt. Don't drive distracted or impaired. And remember, it's better to safely arrive a little later than being in an auto accident. Those things can make a big difference between a fun family trip or a painful alternative. At Trost Law, I hope you never need our services, but if you do, we're here to help you at 777-HURT or trostlaw.com.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community support. Teamwork means the right consult who truly listens to what you want and need for your home or business. Dedication is doing the job right, and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit centralvaflooring.com and drop by Central VA Flooring on Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community spirit. True health isn't about judgment, it's about empowerment. At Crossroads Family Dentistry, we partner with you to help you understand your options and make the best decisions for your health. In a supportive, non-judgmental environment, are you ready to take control of your total body wellness? Visit us on 221 in Forest or at crossroadsfamilydentistryva.com and call us today to schedule your appointment. Because when you feel good about your smile, you'll feel good about your health.
Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by trostlaw.com.
Welcome back to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers pregame show presented by trostlaw.com. I'm your host, Todd Tracy, back at it again. Next, we have the Mount Airy's Granite Bears head coach, Coach Taylor. He's second year coming as a head coach. He's been with the program since 2013. He made a transition from a DB linebacker, defensive coordinator, now a head coach. And he learned a lot. So I think this is going to be a great challenge for tonight. And I'm excited, especially how this is going to turn out. So here's Coach Taylor for right now.
Good evening. This is Todd Tracy with the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers pregame show presented by TrochLaw.com. Joining me now is the head coach of the Mount Airy Granite Bears, Coach Austin Taylor. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Doing good.
Coach, you made a quite transition throughout your years at Mount Airy, starting as an assistant coach back in 2013 and now leading the program as a head coach. What has that journey been like for you, and how has each step prepared you for this role?
Yeah, I've been lucky enough to play and coach for a lot of great coaches in the past 10 years with Kelly Holder and J.K. Atkins, and, been a part of a great program, got to learn a lot, and, just trying to keep that going for Mount Airy.
Last season was your first as a head coach after taking over when former head coach J.K. Atkins stepped down. What were some of the biggest lessons you learned in that first year, and what challenges did you have to face stepping into the role?
Yeah, I thought we had a great season. We definitely reached a roadblock. We had a 50-50 game that we could have won, and we fell short. And you learn things about building a team and getting kids to buy in and things like that, little things. And it was definitely a great learning experience. We got a lot of those boys back, so I'm excited about this year.
Last week's game against Wutanga didn't go the way you wanted with a 61-7 result. From your perspective, what was the biggest challenge your team faced in that matchup?
Yeah, I don't know any football team we play where if we turn it over 6 to 8 times that we win, and it turns out good for us. And then you got a team like Wutanga that plays hard, well coached. They're going to exploit all your mistakes, and we gave them plenty. And the score showed.
Hosted Jefferson Forest tonight, a 4A team from Virginia. How do you see this matchup? What's your focus heading into the game?
Yeah, I just want us to get us back on track and, offensively stay on schedule, take care of the football. And, we know Jefferson Forest is a good football team. They're big and physical and play hard. And, it's another good test for us to get ready for the postseason. And being able to play a team like Jefferson Forest, we felt like gave us an opportunity to prepare ourselves for that opportunity. So I'm really excited we found this game and, got to have this matchup.
Playing an out-of-state opponent brings extra challenges. How are you preparing your players, and what will be the toughest challenge for your team?
Yeah, we've kind of treated it like a playoff atmosphere of a team we're not really familiar with. We don't play a lot. We've actually never played. And, we think it's a cool opportunity to go out, prepare, make sure we're playing our best and, let the outcome sort itself out, but play physical, play hard, play as a team, and do all those things.
One more question before I let you go, Coach. Y'all was single A for the last several years. Now y'all moved to a different division. What have you learned from the different teams y'all played compared from this year, from last year?
Yeah, we whether we liked it or not, the reclassification made us find 5 different football games. And one of the things we wanted to do, knowing we're going up in classification, is make sure we have a harder schedule and try to prepare us for the playoffs. And, having a game that we can lose every single week and having to be able to show up and be ready to play. So that's been a good thing for us. And even last week that some people think, losing that badge is all negative. It's not. It brought a lot of problems to the surface. I still feel very confident in our football team, and this non-conference is going to make us better.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
When it comes to legal matters, there is no substitute for experience. Hi, I'm Randy Trost with Trost Law. We've gained knowledge from serving Virginians for over 4 decades. Since 1982, we've handled auto accidents and personal injury cases ranging from simple fender benders to complex tractor-trailer cases. And we're ready to put our experience to work for you. We hope you never need our services, but if you do, just give us a call at 777-HURT or visit us at trostlaw.com.
True health isn't about judgment, it's about empowerment. At Crossroads Family Dentistry, we partner with you to help you understand your options and make the best decisions for your health. In a supportive, non-judgmental environment, are you ready to take control of your total body wellness? Visit us on 221 in Forest or at crossroadsfamilydentistryva.com and call us today to schedule your appointment. Because when you feel good about your smile, you'll feel good about your health.
You've heard how easy it is to get life insurance on the radio and internet. But what they don't say is you may not be getting the very best rate. If you've been needing to buy life insurance, why not buy it from your JF sponsor, Andy Matthews, located right here in Lynchburg? You'll get the truth about buying life insurance, and you will have an agent who can discuss options that are right for your family. Contact Andy Matthews, a licensed Airy family life agent. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance. Leaks on the offensive line, in the defensive secondary, or with special teams coverage create problems in football. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating knows leaks at your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants.
Gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face.
Broadway's hip-shaking musical Bye Bye Birdie is coming to Forest. Rock out with Jefferson Forest's Cavalier Theater October 9th at 7 p.m., October 11th at 1 and 7 p.m., and October 12th at 3 p.m. High energy, hilarious toe-tapping fun for the whole family. Get your tickets right now at cavaliertheater.com.
Oh, baby, oh yeah!
It's the perfect time to take your car to Meineke to make sure your engine starts perfectly this year. Whether you need tires, brakes, engine repairs, or simply an oil change, Meineke has you covered with certified technicians, free digital e-inspections with pictures and videos, and financing options. They're there to not only help you start your engine, but keep it running smoothly all year long. They're your one-stop shop for car care needs. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke, doing car care right.
As a privately owned nonprofit organization, the Forest Youth Athletic Association thrives off volunteers. Volunteering with the FYAA ensures children throughout the Forest community have a local place to participate in sports like wiffle ball, t-ball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer, football, flag football, basketball, and cheer. FYAA depends on volunteers and needs your support, whether that's volunteering your time, money, resources, or a combination of your gifts. Visit forestyouth.org to learn more about how you can support FYAA.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community support. Teamwork means the right console who truly listens to what you want and need for your home or business. Dedication is doing the job right and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit centralvaflooring.com and drop by Central VA Flooring on Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community spirit.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a place for you. Here is more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact has a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
You're listening to Jefferson Forest Cavalier football on Virginia's talk station, WIQO Forest, 100.9 FM.
All right, now everybody, that's it for the pregame show. Now we're going to head to Mount Airy as Atlanta coach Rick Kennedy give you more JF football. This is the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TroSlaw.com.
Thank you very much, Ty. We welcome you into the inspiration for the hit TV show back in the day, The Andy Griffith Show. This town was the inspiration for Mayberry. It is picturesque as the photos, not very professional, but detailed enough at Fastlane, Ed Lane, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram would indicate. We welcome all of you who are unable to make the trek down here to Mount Airy, North Carolina, a little over a 2.5-hour drive from Jefferson Forest High School in Forest, Virginia. Meanwhile, with the coach Rick Kennedy on Ed Lane, we're wrapping up our Central VA Flooring kickoff show and getting you set for JF Cavalier football presented by TrostLaw.com. Coach, a lot of unfamiliarities. An opponent that has had great success in North Carolina, but a long trip right now. You talk regularly about how that's a wild card. What opportunity awaits Jefferson Forest tonight here at Mount Airy?
Well, from the film and from what the coaches have said, this is going to be by far the toughest game so far this year. They come down to a Mount Airy, North Carolina football team that has a lot of history, a lot of success. And I tell you what, they have a good-looking set of players over there on the opposite sideline right now. They got size in the line. They got athleticism. And as Coach Cruz said, this team reminds him of a GW Danville. Always has size, always has athleticism, and they are going to play. So JF has their work cut out for them here. They need to be disciplined. They need to be able to take advantage of opportunities that are given to them. And this is going to be an exciting game. This is going to answer a lot of questions on where is JF really in this situation so far for the team.
Yeah, final non-district game before they start district play next week at Liberty High School, and we'll have a lot of answers coming quickly. It's not the deepest team in Mount Airy, but it is one that's very successful. Their 43-game winning streak was snapped last year in the state quarterfinals. They've won their first three games, two of their first three games, to start this season, and they will receive as JF won the toss and deferred their options. Zach Goins fields it on a bounce on the near side at the 15-yard line, crosses over to the far side, tries to turn the corner. He does, but not for much, up to about the 21 and brought down there, and it's where Mount Airy will get ready to go to work, featuring an offensive approach that really varies from week to week. One week they'll do a triple option, another week they'll do more of a spread-based run. This is a very diverse offensive set, and the theory behind it for the Granite Bears and Austin Taylor, their head coach, has largely been positioning themselves to make sure they are better equipped to make runs once they get into mid-November in the state playoffs.
Yeah, well, they're looking like they have some pretty good spread right now. They got three receivers with a tailback, and the quarterback is in the gun.
Ahmad Francis is the quarterback, takes the snap, rolls across his body to the left, caught in the flat at about the 32 on the near side numbers, and he's brought down after gaining a couple more yards after contact. A nice across-the-body throw to Kylan Mason, who is the younger brother of Trey Mason, the Virginia Tech redshirt freshman running back.
Yeah, great little sprint. What they did, went with a sprint out right there, and then number one ran a little curl route into the flats, and he was wide open for a good pitch and catch on that first play of the game for the Mount Airy Granite Bears.
Ball on the 34-yard line, a pickup of 12 from Mount Airy. The freshman Francis at 6'2", $150, tall, but has time to fill his frame out. Works out of the shotgun and a man in motion from right to left. It's a handoff. Mason over on the right side. Hit immediately in the backfield and popped. They'll give him forward progress back to the original line of scrimmage. Tried to turn the corner off the right side. Was met with the now double-teamed regularly defensive end, Slade Kazee.
Yeah, great job right there by Slade coming off the block. They were trying to run a little off tackle right there. They had a lead blocker for the running back right there. Number 5 out of Mount Airy right there, Keelan Mason, but he was taken down for no gain on that play. Great job defensively.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 for Mount Airy at the 34. Ball in the middle of the field. They are working right to left a couple minutes into the first quarter. Francis, shotgun snap, rolls to his right. Looks for Mason on an out route in front of the Mount Airy bench. Has him about the 38-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 4. Going to set up what's that third and manageable, 3rd and about 6. As the clock will approach the 10-minute mark, 2 minutes into this opening quarter, opening drive of the game.
Well, I tell you what we're seeing right now is Mount Airy wants to sprint their quarterback out. So that time he sprinted out to the right there. They ran a rail route by the running back to catch that in the flats.
3 receivers set, 2 to the near side right. That's the wide side. 1 to the tight far side left. Mason is the back. He's to the right of Francis. He's barking out signals with 10 and counting down on the play clock in the first quarter. Snap, Francis takes it, drops back. It's got good protection, floats it down the middle of the field, and flags come in as there was some tugging from JF's Gabe Barnett, who was trying to hold lockstep with Zach Goins. That is the right call. It may not be pass interference, but there was some jersey tugging that went on there, and it'll be a first down for the Granite Bears.
Well, I tell you what, they went for the home run right away right there. They had a deep post right there And the corner, number 2 for JF, Gabe Barnett, went ahead and grabbed the receiver, and that's going to be a first down and 15 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they call pass interference, not holding. Pass interference, 15 yards. Defensive holding is 5 in the NFL, but 10 in college and high school. So Mount Airy benefits from that extra 5 yards to get into JF territory. They'll snap it just shy of the Cavalier 47 off the first down thanks to the penalty. Mount Airy working on the opening drive of the game. 9:43 remaining first quarter. Sun is mostly settled down, but it's still up in the sky, just not on top of the field. Handoff right side. Mason goes up the middle for a gain of about 4, chugging his legs down to the 43. He's brought down by Pearson Brooks. Dax Rowland, the linebacker, also in on the stop, and JF going to have to bow down. This is going to be a very disciplined Mount Airy team as we've seen them run and then vary it up with the pass.
Yeah, they're definitely mixing it up in this first series right here. They got the ball moving. They've already crossed midfield right now into JF territory with running and passing right there. And JF in their 4-3 defense now. They need to come up with some big plays.
From left to right, J.D. Boart, the tight end, takes it, and it's a handoff. Mason following the right side of the offensive line and lunges forward down to about the 40. It'll set up 3rd and short as he was plugged up there by Slade Kazee, the defensive end, who came in, grabbed his legs. But this Mount Airy offensive line, they've done a formidable job both creating rushing lanes for Tyler Mason, who's in tonight, as Tayshawn Martin is out with an injury, their primary running back. And then they've given some protection a couple times that the Granite Bears have elected to throw.
Well, I tell you, Slade Kazee's going to have himself a big game right here. For JF to have an opportunity now, he's got to have a big game. And they're looking to be able to run the ball and throw the ball. They got him in 3rd and 3 right here. See what JF can dial up to bring some pressure.
Boart, the tight end, from left to right. He goes to the strong side, handoff. Mason tries to cut back, hit in the backfield. Pearson Brooks was the one who grabbed him by the ankles and brings down Tyler Mason at the 41. A loss of 1. It'll bring up 4th and about 4 for a Mount Airy offense that will stay on the field as the clock will go under 8 minutes to go in this scoreless opening quarter.
I'll tell you what, that was really just a zone-type run concept. Quarterback, I don't know if he was reading it or if it was just a play call of giving, but he handed that off in a zone read, and a great job by the defense here now on 4th and 4.
Ahmad Francis claps his hands hard, wants to get a JF player to jump off sides. Nobody did that, so now he's checking up to the line of scrimmage and either calling out an audible or helping reset the offense. 3 on the play clock. He takes the snap, has time, but flags come in, or at least whistles are blown, with a flag that came in on the far side of the field. And we'll see what this is. JF is clapping like it's going to be a false start. If it is, that probably will bat Mount Airy up into a punting situation.
Well, great job right there for JF settling down after initially giving up some good plays and the pass interference, now forcing Mount Airy into the punt situation right here now on 4th and 9.
And Mount Airy sending Braddock Sumner on to punt this ball away. Charleston Harris standing at the 11, closer to the far side hash mark. Sumner grabs the punt, twists the ball around, boots it underneath the laces, not on top of him, and it bounces at the 18, rolls up to the 20, then rolls backwards down to the 15 on the near hash mark, where it comes to a stop, and Aiden Pomeroy for Mount Airy tags it up, and that's where the Cavalier offense will begin. They are not winning the field position battle, but most importantly, they settle down defensively, Coach. And with 7:21 to go in the opening quarter, we'll see the JF offense on this field for the first time.
Yeah, JF right now on the 15-yard line starting off here. And again, the defense from Mount Airy, they got some big front 4 right here. They're in a 4-3 defense. 4 defensive linemen, 3 linebackers, 2 safeties, 2 corners.
JF working out of the shotgun. Jackson, a handoff to Rowland. He's hit at the 15, spins forward, keeps his legs pumping up to the 18, fights forward to the 19. Forward progress, finally blows it dead there. But that's 4 hard-fought yards from Dax Rowland, 3 of them after that initial contact, and he just kept those legs pumping.
Yes, he did. That was a great job by the offensive line. After the contact was made, they were able to get the defensive line pushing back a little bit, and that was 4 yards. That was 4 tough yards right there against this 4-3 defense of the Granite Bears.
And it all is anchored by Third Floyd, the 6'1", 327-pound senior defensive tackle who moves pretty well for that size also. JF handoff, Fox left side, bubbles the ball at the 25-yard line. There's a pile up for it. Mount Airy says they have it, and they do.
Wow, what a missed opportunity right there. That was a first down run for the Cavaliers by the running back, but he went ahead and fumbled that, put it on the ground, and that was Cam Fox right there with the ball coming loose, and Mount Airy getting the ball back. The first mistake of the game is at the cost of the Cavaliers on that fumble.
Cam Fox just never felt like it was secure in there, even when he was carrying the rock, and give a lot of credit for Mount Airy and Tyson Humans, who popped that ball loose, came up with it at the 25, and the Granite Bears will go back to work offensively with a much shorter field. Shotgun snap, Francis takes the step, drops back, floats it towards the end zone. It's caught at the 3, entering the end zone on a slant route, Zach Goins, as it's a 25-yard touchdown completion from Francis to Goins, and the Granite Bears quickly capitalize on the JF turnover by finding the Impact Church end zone.
Well, I tell you what, Zach Goins, all he did was he put one little move on the corner right there, Gabe Barnett, and ran an inside post right by him, wide open. Good throw by the quarterback, Ty Hemrick, on the money. That was an easy throw and score right there for the Granite Bears.
And all of that comes after the early JF turnover, and now the Granite Bears have a chance to go up 7-zip with the extra point coming up momentarily. Bohart, the tight end, also the extra point kicker. Snap a little low, a good job putting it on the ground and up and through the uprights. 7-0, Mount Airy takes advantage of an early JF miscue. The Cavaliers will try to answer with 6:26 to go in the opening quarter of JF Cavalier football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
As a privately owned nonprofit organization, the Forest Youth Athletic Association thrives off volunteers. Volunteering with the FYAA ensures children throughout the Forest community have a local place to participate in sports like wiffle ball, t-ball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer, football, flag football, basketball, and cheer. FYAA depends on volunteers and needs your support, whether that's volunteering your time, money, resources, or a combination of your gifts. Visit forestyouth.org to learn more about how you can support FYAA.
You've heard how easy it is to get life insurance on the radio and internet, but what they don't say is you may not be getting the very best rate. If you've been needing to buy life insurance, why not buy it from your JF sponsor, Andy Matthews, located right here in Lynchburg? You'll get the truth about buying life insurance, and you will have an agent who can discuss options that are right for your family. Contact Andy Matthews, a licensed Airy family life agent. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Bohart's kick, fielded 25, breaking a couple of tackles. Cam Jones still on speed at the 40, tries to bound out outside and gets a couple more yardage between the near side hash marks in the middle of the field up to the 43, and a potentially necessary spark for this JF Cavalier team, trailing 7-0, 6:18 left in the first quarter at Mount Airy.
Well, that's a little lift right there, having that great return out past the 40-yard line. And JF needs that right now after giving up the fumble and the post pass for the score. And they need this now, right now. They need to try to come up with an answer. I'm telling you, when you put kids on a bus and drive them this far away now, they need to get themselves focused really quick, and no more mistakes.
Jack Lee split out wide. Up in the H-back position is Thax Rowland. Fox back in the game at running back. It'll be a pitch play to Coleman, trying to turn the corner left side of the 40. Does. Stays on his feet, 45. Up to midfield, and he's pushed out of bounds just inside Granite Bear territory at about the 47-yard line. It'll depend on the spot, but a sizable pickup and right around the first down marker.
I'll tell you what, that was rocket sweep, rocket motion over the top, and the toss sweep out to him right there. Great job making the corner. Mount Airy was ready for that. They know that is one of the bread and butter plays of the Cavaliers right there, and they had the corner out there, they had the safety out there, but JF did a good job getting and maintaining their blocks for him to make it to the corner and turn that upfield.
They actually give him the 41-yard line, so that's a sizable gain of 16 yards for JF on their first play of this second drive, hoping it ends with a trip to the Impact Church end zone to tie this game. They'll snap it at the Granite Bear 41. This is a quintessential Mayberry theme town. It was literally the inspiration of Mayberry, Mount Airy, North Carolina is. And it's got that Friday night vibes feel, which unfortunately for JF has gone the way of the hometown, the way they envisioned, at least in the mid-first quarter. JF trying to answer. Jackson to work out of the shotgun. Snap, misdirection handoff, rolling left side. Breaks through a tackle at the 40, turns the legs inside the 35, keeps fighting between the far side hash mark and numbers down to about the 41 and will depend on the spot, but it's a good run, 9 to 10 yards on first down for JF as the clock approaches the 6-minute mark of the opening quarter.
Well, that was their other big play. That's the counter, the wing counter right there. And I tell you what, for Mount Airy, there are 2 defensive tackles, number 77 and number 71. 71 they got listed at 327, and number 77 they don't have his weight, but he's bigger than 71, so he's got to be at least pushing 330, maybe 335. They got some beef up there in the middle.
They do, and JF, they've moved it a bit, but a lot of these runs have been to the outside. Fox now to the left of Jackson. It's Roland who goes in motion and gets it from behind Jackson. A handoff to Roland. He follows the interior of the offensive line. They are running right at that size, the Cavaliers are, and down to about the 27-28. We'll call it a gain of about 3.5.
Yeah, pretty good run right there by Thax Roland right now. And again, that's a counter play to the rocket sweep right there, and it has the rocket motion, but instead of taking it wide, he takes the handoff and cuts it right up into the line of scrimmage right now. And JF doing a good job getting some movement on that big front four of the Granite Bears.
Ball spotted left hash mark at the 27, so it was a gain of 4 from Thax Roland on that last run. 2nd and 6 for JF. They're approaching the red zone, 7 yards from it. Shotgun snap, Jackson, play fake, swing pass over to the right side. Call 27, 25, 30, 20, 15, 10, 5. Sprinting down the right side into the Impact Church end zone is Gabe Barnett for the early JF touchdown.
Wow, what a great play right there. And that's a new wrinkle. That play we have not seen before. We had the rocket motion, and what that turned into was a sideline jet sweep up the sideline. He just kept running, and what a great throw by Peyton Jackson. I mean, that throw was over the top of the linebackers trying to cover that right into his hands. What a perfect throw and catch, and that's the answer JF needed right there.
JF lined up like they were going to go for 2. They actually have done that the first 2 games of the year. Converted against Gretna, did not against Stanton River last week, but today they'll try the more traditional extra point. Snap is finally given. It's down. The kick is right down the middle from Austin Walker, but whistles blow, flags come in, and it's going to be a procedure penalty and back the Cavaliers up by 5 yards on the extra point.
Well, kicker Austin Walker got a little anxious on that and actually was the one that moved, causing that penalty, even though he was able to kick it through after the ball was snapped, but now he's get to do it again 5 yards deeper right here to make this game a tie game.
Last one went down the middle, emphasis on should, but it should be navigable for JF. Snap a little high, Walker's kick is up. This one also has plenty of distance, and it's right down the middle as well. No, he pushed it off. Pushed it wide to the left from our vantage point. So it's an early miscue on JF. It's their second missed extra point of the year. And so far, now they trail at Mount Airy 7-6, 4:38 to go in the first quarter of JF Cavalier football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a place for you. Here's more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact has a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
Jefferson Forest football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Kickoff return from Mason at the 15-yard line, and he tried to juke one defender out. Did a good enough job to fall forward past the 25 up to the 28. It was a 13-yard, kind of a silent 13-yard return from Kylan Mason, the brother of Tyler Mason, who's the Virginia Tech running back. And Mount Airy up 7-6 on JF. Both teams have found the Impact Church end zone, but an extra point that sailed wide to the left has put JF in a 1-point hole. Mount Airy, 2 drives where they moved the ball. One was an easier one than the second. This time it's an inside handoff. JF plugs that hole, and not even getting up to the 30-yard line, barely back to the original line of scrimmage, is Braddock Sumner, 5'8", 170-pound, thicker build running back. Picked up about a yard. We'll call it second down, and we'll still call it 10. They're actually going to mark it back at the line of scrimmage.
So this is technically Mount Airy's 3rd series right now, and what we're seeing is JF is doing a pretty good job against the run, and Mount Airy has taken advantage of them through the air. That's where they've done most of their damage. So let's see if the Mount Airy coaches try to put it in the air.
They will again. Francis takes it on a rollout over to the right side as a man open. Sumner at the 30 on a crossing pattern, gets out of a defender's grasp at the 35, and then spins up to about the 38, 39. This should, and it is, enough for a first down for Mount Airy on that rollout play. And JF was so focused, it seemed, Coach, on the deeper receivers, they gave some room underneath, and credit the freshman Francis for just taking what was there.
Well, I tell you what, they are sprinting the quarterback out to obviously give him some extra time, make him mobile, and that lets him see the field, lets the receivers get into their routes a little bit better, and that's the second throw now to the running back running a rail route in the flats.
7-6, Mount Airy to lead. Both teams have gotten to the Impact Church end zone. A missed JF extra point is that difference. A handoff inside and up to, we'll call it the 39, maybe a 40, a half-yard gain if that. Second and 10 on the way off of that interior run. Sumner picking for yardage, but there wasn't much there.
Well, I tell you what, again, JF's front 4 right now are making plays against the run, forcing Mount Airy to figure out how they can beat them. And right now, the sprint out and the ball in the air has been the advantage offensively for Mount Airy against the Cavaliers' 4-3 defense.
Mount Airy breaks the huddle. They've been willing to spread it out wide with a 3-receiver set. They use one H-back, the freshman Board, and a snap this time to Francis on another rollout to the right. Under duress, stops, tries to get out of the grass, but could not. Pearson Brooks grabbed him by the ankles and spun him down at the 29. That's a loss of 10, and a big play by Pearson Brooks to thwart this once promising drive.
Yeah, great job right there. Pearson Brooks had the sprint out right there, and I know defensively when you're on whatever side you're on for the outs for the linebacker, if that quarterback sprints out to your side, you're supposed to trigger on him, and that's exactly what number 13 Pearson Brooks did, and he got to him before he found anybody downfield. And what a huge sack and loss right there for Mount Airy.
It's a loss of 12 back to the Granite Bear 27. Francis operating from the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers to the left, 1 right. He steps back. He's under duress again. Flush from the pocket. He's hit. Spins out of a couple of tackles. Finally buried back at the 25. Pearson Brooks gets him again.
Well, I tell you what, Slade Kazee was one of the first ones to bring that pressure. Again, he did not sprint out that time. The quarterback stayed in the pocket, but as the pocket started to collapse, Slade Kazee was able to force him to try to start to scramble, and the defense did a great job. What a great defensive series right there for the Cavaliers.
So Sumner will get ready to punt it away. Never say never, but 4th and 27 from your own 22. It is doubtful you would see a fake punt right here as the clock works to a minute to go in the first quarter. Sumner with the snap tries to get it off, does despite JF pressure. Harris calls for a fair catch and cradles it at the JF 41, a couple of yards toward the middle of the field from the near side hash mark. And we're under a minute to go. We're definitely under 2 minutes to go. So we've neglected to remind you that life does not give you a 2-minute warning, which is why it's worth stopping by the Andy Matthews Insurance Agency on Waterlick Road in Lynchburg to see if the right Erie life insurance policy is there for you. Andy will consult with you and give you the information to make the decision that you need, because life doesn't give you a 2-minute warning.
I'll tell you what, Brian Burford, defensive coordinator for the Cavaliers, did a great job that series, shutting down the Mount Airy team.
Jackson, misdirection handoff to Coleman out of a tackle at the 40, slips through a defender, 45, spins out another one at the 50, spins through and drags more Granite Bear defenders down to the Mount Airy 40.
What a great run right there. What a great run by Xander Coleman. And that was the wing counter right there. He was coming back, but he actually fought through some contact initially at just out the outside the line scrimmage right there. But again, he's just breaking tackles. I'm telling you right now, fundamentally, just based on what we're seeing, JF Cavaliers can take control of this game if they just play their fundamentals, because they are beating the Granite Bears up front right now.
And they've been going inside and out, trying to impose their will in the latter stages of this first quarter. Shotgun snap, Jackson, handoff this time Barnett. Trucks through a couple of Granite Bear defenders on the right side of the line, cuts back to the middle on the right side hash mark, inside the 40, down to the 37. And that's how this first quarter is going to wrap up off the 4-yard gain for Jefferson Forest. They'll actually give them a couple of more down to the 35. So we have reached the end of the first quarter. Mount Airy 7, JF 6, but the Cavaliers are driving into Granite Bear territory after one on JF Cavalier Football, presented by TroSlaw.com.
What if you knew that true health and wellness starts in your mouth? At Crossroads Family Dentistry in Forest, we believe your oral health is a window into your overall body health. Your mouth isn't a separate entry, it's a critical part of a complex system. That's why we take a co-diagnostic approach. We don't just tell you what you need, we show you using simple language and digital imaging. For a collaborative approach to your oral health, come see us. Crossroads Family Dentistry on 221 in Forest.
When it comes to legal matters, there is no substitute for experience. Hi, I'm Randy Trost with Trost Law. We've gained knowledge from serving Virginians for over 4 decades. Since 1982, we've handled auto accidents and personal injury cases ranging from
and they haven't established the run.
And we're ready
linebackers
to you. We hope you never need our service. If you do,
I'm telling you, after one quarter, I feel like we're the better team now. Does that mean we're going to win? No, but I feel like we're the better team right now after one quarter.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TroStLaw.com.
We're on a lift here at Mount Airy High School, and the JF Cavalier defense gave a lift to JF on that last drive, forcing Mount Airy to punt after one first down. Now the offensive line and physicality of the Cavalier running game is trying to give this team a lift, most notably to the upper end of the scoreboard. JF trails 7-6 against Mount Airy. They'll start at the Granite Bear 35, now working from right to left in their white pants, white jerseys with black numerals and red trim, black helmets with the red face mask, and the white JF. Flags come in, and it is looks like a sideline warning. No, a timeout called by Mount Airy, and that's a bit of a peculiar one, Coach. Rarely do you see timeouts called out of a dead ball scenario.
Well, I think what happened was they had 12 men on the field, and they were given the timeout before the penalty was thrown by the back judge right there, who counted, I think, 12 guys.
That is a big difference maker, and most definitely worth mentioning that, because
they had 12 men on the field right there, and somehow they called the timeout before I saw the flag first before I saw the timeout. But
I did too. Now, here's the interesting thing. If you're JF in the first half, you would rather Mount Airy keep the timeout and get the 5-yard penalty. In the second half, you take the reverse of that because you want to deplete that other team of their 3 valuable timeouts.
Yeah. So, again, JF right now is in a good rhythm. They've established themselves offensively and defensively right now. They're driving at the 35-yard line, again, against a good-looking Granite Bears 4-3 defense.
Jackson to work out of the shotgun. Fox to his left in motion. It is Johnson, and it's a give to Fox. Breaks a tackle at the 30, trucks his way to the 25, trying to carry a Granite Bear defender to the 20. Couldn't quite get there. He's tripped up at the 22, but a 13-yard collection. Physical running by Cam Fox, who looks like he's on a mission after that early fumble to atone himself. Showed it there, and the Cavaliers are knocking on the door of the red zone once again.
Yeah, the great job right there by Fox on that inside run. And I tell you that we have not seen any run defense from the front four right there. JF offensively their front five is doing a good job getting those front four blocked and even getting up on the linebackers to open up some of the runs.
Jackson to work out of the shotgun. Fox again to the left. It's rolling in motion. He'll get the carry this time. Picks his way through defenders in the 20. Keeps the legs moving and patters his way down inside the 15 to the 14. That's just good physical running initially. Had some burst there in the middle and then a good lunge at the end from Thax Rowland. And it's an 8-yard gain. Cavaliers are in the shallow red zone at the Granite Bear 14.
Well, I tell you what, the Granite Bears have not been able to stop the run. JF just continues to run the ball, especially between the tackles. They have been able to run at will for 6, 7, 8 yards a pop right now. They're sitting at 2nd and 2 right now on the 14-yard line.
Jack Lee split wide to the right. Cavaliers with Jackson in the shotgun and a shotgun snap for JF. This time it's a handoff. No, it's a QB keeper. Johnson with it, and Peyton Jackson gets down to about the 10 before he's met by a wall of Granite Bear defenders, including Braddock Sumner. But you get to that defensive level and the strong safety hits you, as painful as it might have been for Peyton Jackson, you'll take that. It's a gain of 4, but most notably a 1st and goal for JF. A minute and a half into the second quarter.
1st and goal, the ball's right at the 10-yard line exactly. And I tell you what, Peyton Jackson right there, they had to look at the rocket sweep. The defense had actually moved over, and he did not pitch it, and he followed Fox, the running back, off tackle right there, and again made a couple good runs through contact for a solid 2-3 yard run.
Ball on the right hash mark, clock approaching the 10-minute mark of the second quarter. Peyton Jackson to work out of the shotgun, and Cam Fox to his left. Handoff again to Fox. He barrels through one defender at the 9-yard line, keeps his legs fighting down to the 6. And right now, JF, it's a 4-yard gain, but you kind of get the feeling on this drive, they would love to not only get to the Impact Church end zone and get the lead on Mount Airy, but it's about imposing that will through the physical running game.
Well, I tell you what, this is exactly what they want to do. They want to come down here and establish the run. That opens up everything else for them. The fact that they are winning at the line of scrimmage against a much bigger defensive line that obviously is not that athletic, even though they look big, they are not making tackles at the line of scrimmage.
Jackson out of the shotgun, Fox to his right. Johnson, the man in motion. It's a misdirection handoff. Barnett left side at the 5, spins out of a tackle to the 4, keeps the legs turning to the 3, to the 2, to the 1. Does he get into the Impact Church end zone? No. The referee did not give it to Gabe Barnett, who had his legs churning from our view, and we are not far from the right side, left side at goal line. He got in, but the referee on top of it saying, no, it's going to be 3rd and goal at the 1.
Yeah, that was the wrong call right there. He was in the he was in the end zone way before where they spot this ball right now, just inside the 1. That is a terrible spot right there. That should have been a touchdown for the Cavaliers. They got 3rd and 1 right here. They need to stuff this one right in. And the Granite Bears right now are in a goal line defense.
Jackson, handoff to Fox off the right side. This time he leans forward off the right side of the O-line into the Impact Church end zone for the 2nd JF touchdown.
Well, I tell you what, that was redemption right there to get that touchdown, because that last play was a touchdown right there by number 2 running that football for the Cavaliers right there. And it was a great job by Fox pushing it in right there, even in the goal line defense that they had. And Cavaliers are now up by 12-7, and they're only going to go for 1. They're going to try to kick just the 1 point extra point here.
Trying to get the confidence of Walker back. Calling for the snap, getting it down is Lee. He does. Kick is up. This time it's through the uprights, and the Cavaliers lead 13-7 at Mount Airy. 8:28 to go in the second quarter of JF Cavalier football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community support. Teamwork means the right console who truly listens to what you want and need for your home or business. Dedication is doing the job right, and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit centralvaflooring.com and drop by Central VA Flooring on Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community spirit.
Leaks on the offensive line and the defensive secondary or with special teams coverage create problems in football. The plumbing and heating knows leaks in your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-331. 3, the leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Austin Walker's squib kick was picked up by Spanauer at the 30, and he worked from the far side hash marks toward the near, not quite there, up to the 39. Good field position for Mount Airy, and they need to muster something offensively after that initial drive of the game where they got into JF territory and punted. They had a short field, a one-play, 25-yard touchdown catch from Francis to Goins, and they try to get back to work offensively. Pitch play over to the left side. Cavaliers in pursuit, breaking out of a tackle across the 40, up to about the 43 over to the far side bench. On that run was Cashton Rebels, the senior captain, and we'll call it a gain of about 3 is what they're saying. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Well, I tell you, for the Mount Airy football team right now, number 15, looking at the stats right here, he is a freshman quarterback here they got in the game right here. And they tried to run that time to the outside, and a pretty good job by pursuit of the Cavaliers, limiting that outside run to only 3 yards.
Ahmad Francis, the freshman quarterback of whom you're speaking, will take the 2nd and 7 snap from the left hash mark out of the shotgun. Mount Airy at their own 42, trying to cross midfield once again. Trailing 13-7 in another handoff to the senior Rebels, and he follows the middle of the line up to about the 44 to the 45. Gains 2 more, 3rd and 5 coming up for Mount Airy. And we'll see if they can get some more success in the air as they've had tonight.
Well, I tell you what, offensively, the front line for Mount Airy, as big as they are across the board, they have not been able to get some good run lanes. And that time, again, a 2-yard run between the tackle, it has not been much for the Mount Airy Granite Bears running the football between the tackle. They got 3rd and 5 right here. Let's see what they dial up.
Everybody at least 235 on the Mount Airy offensive line. That's big by high school standards. Francis, handoff left side, hitting the backfield, spins up to about the 45. That's it. A good job. Pearson Brooks once again comes in and helps lead the charge defensively. He's making an early case to be the FYAA defensive player of the game as he got the stop for a gain of just 1 and 4th down and short coming up, but Mount Airy going to punt it away shy midfield.
Very, very curious on that 3rd down play right there. 3rd and a good 5, and you're going to try to run the football right there, which you have not had success running the football at any point in this game, and you're going to run that with 3rd and 5.
Yeah, and Cashton Rebels was only able to pick up a yard for Mount Airy, so now Sumner will line up to punt it away. It's a bit of a high snap, but he pulls it down, right leg into it. It's an end-over-end kick that will spiral, take a quirky bounce. Harris picks it up at the 20 at the near side hash mark and just does a good enough job to secure it, fall forward. He's hit, brought down at about the 22-23, and it's where the JF offense will go back to work. Now with a 13-6 advantage, 5:56 to go before halftime, and with the way JF can run the football, they can milk clock time. They might be able to bleed a good chunk of this clock time off and position themselves for the old 2-for-1 since they'll get the ball to start the second half.
That would be absolutely perfect. That would be exactly what you want to dial up right here for the Cavaliers. Milk this drive all the way down the field and let the halftime kick come in and then be able to get the opening kickoff for the 3rd quarter. And again, JF has been able to run the football. That is the key.
Peyton Jackson operating out of the shotgun, and the 5'10", 180-pound junior takes the snap and will keep it himself off the left side with a 1 stiff arm movement to 25. He's hit by a Mount Airy defender in front of the JF bench, wrestled into the sideline. Zach Goins let up enough on him that despite some JF fans wanting a flag, that one was not going to come. If JF's not getting that touchdown that we just saw withheld on Gabe Barnett, which resulted in 3rd and goal at the 1, they're not getting that one either.
Well, I tell you what's curious is he went out of bounds right there, very clearly out of bounds, and the official was winding the clock to keep that running. That should have been a stop clock right now.
And if you're JF, you'd almost take it right now. It's 2nd down and 1. Clock's going to go under 5.5 to go here in this 2nd quarter. And JF in no rush, seemingly knowing what they're doing, trying to bleed a lot of this clock. They can actually get it all the way down to just at the 5-minute mark before snapping the football. And why that's relevant is JF has moved the ball well for the most part tonight, and they'll get the ball to start the second half. Rolling to the man in motion, gets it on the handoff, bounces out to the left side, up to the 35, stays on his feet past the 40. He'll drag some Granite Bears to the 43. Flags come in late. There's pushing and shoving. Spencer Sloan is saying flag, flag, flag for pushing and shoving on Mount Airy. We'll see if the officials agree, but even if it's not, it's a gain of 12 on the Thax Roland run.
You can see right now, from our vantage point, Mount Airy is walking backwards right now. That is on their linebacker right there, number 12, Tyson Yomas. He grabbed our lineman and basically flung him after the whistle.
Yeah, and that's a penalty flag. The referees caught it. It will be a personal foul. It'll move the football for JF to the Granite Bear 42. And, you wonder right now, I know we're not at halftime, but if the JF physicality is already taking a mental toll on Mount Airy, who just they have not seen anything like that this season.
Well, I tell you what, they took a pretty hard one under the chin last week, and right now things are not looking good for them. They have not been able to stop the run in their 4-3 defense right there, and that was number 12 middle linebacker Tyson Yomas with the penalty on getting blocked on that run.
Now, they lost to Watauga, who's a bigger school. Mount Airy's a 1A school. And JF, obviously, this is Virginia versus North Carolina. JF in Virginia, Mount Airy in North Carolina. But it's a 4A school for JF. So there is a size disparity and the idea of getting some experience down the road. But when they're facing bigger physical teams, Mount Airy at a disadvantage. Shotgun snap this time to Barnett. He'll take it off of left tackle inside the 40. And after contact, gets down to the 39, 3-yard gain. And the chains will move for 2nd and 7. And the referees with a quick whistle trying to keep Mount Airy under control.
Yeah, 3-yard gain right there. And basically it looked like nothing. But, again, once contact was made, the pile just kind of kept moving backwards right there. And by the time the play was over, that was a 3-yard run.
We talk often about the Men of Summer workout and what that does for JF. But not just that, but really since the end of last season in early January, you just see that physicality paying dividends for JF. Barnett in motion. It's a play fake. Jackson, a throw. Jones has it in the 10. Right side hash mark 5 toward the Impact Church end zone. He's short this time, down at the 1.
Wow, what a play right there. It's a play action. The play action in the backfield opened up that play right there for Cam Jones to go by the corner and the safety. Corner sat down. Safety let him run by. And again, another great throw by number 9, Peyton Jackson, put it right where only his receiver was going to be able to get that. Great haul-in catch, and they did a good job tackling him out of the end zone right at the 1-yard line to save that from being another JF touchdown.
A 38-yard catch to set up 1st down and goal from the 1 for Jefferson Forest off the throw from Jackson to Cam Jones. Now it's Fox to his left. He'll get the carry left side, plunges over the middle of the offensive line and into the Impact Church end zone for his 2nd and the 3rd JF touchdown.
Wow, JF has really settled down now. The bus ride is over. They have woken up after that first series right there that they let the Bears come down the field and get on the scoreboard. JF has shaken off the cobwebs from that 2.5, 3-hour long bus ride, and they are rolling right now. Going to go ahead and go for the PAT. You're going to go ahead and get one right here. This will put the score at 20-7 if it goes through the uprights.
Walker is on. It's being called for. Snap is down. Walker kicks it up despite hitting it on the laces. He hits it on the money down the middle of the uprights. JF 20, Mount Airy 7. 3:27 left in the first half of JF Cavalier football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford is proud to be a sponsor of Jefferson Forest High School football. At Magic City, we take great pride in our community and the people who call it home. And when it comes to providing Bedford and the surrounding communities with outstanding sales and service, Magic City leads the way. Stop in at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford at 1750 Independence Boulevard, or shop us at MagicCityBedford.com. MagicCityBedford.com.
In most things, it's hard to go from ordinary to extraordinary. It's easy with your home or business. Call the Concrete Wizard. and transform your place into an extraordinary space. If you're tired of looking at unsightly concrete, then bring life to your old surfaces. Call the Concrete Wizard for free design consultations, free estimates, fast professional concrete resurfacing. And visit theconcretewizard.com for ideas from other before and after photos.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Squib kick picked up by Goins, goes over to the far side 30, tries to backtrack over to the near side of the field. 20, 25, hard collision, and he's still on his feet. Flags come flying in. He's up to the 40-yard line. Ball pops out. JF says they have it. It might get negated by a helmet-to-helmet contact. No, referees say it's Mount Airy football, and we'll see what they throw. They call the flag on as well. It was a vicious contact on Goins, who was trying to reverse from the far side to the near side of the field. Got to the 40. The ball popped out. Questionable whether Mount Airy really recovered it, and now there's a penalty flag being discussed as well.
I tell you what, there's one official on this sideline right now that has not made one call in favor of the Cavaliers, and that could have been Cavalier ball on that fumble, and it should have been, but it was not called.
Now, in JF's win column on that lack of turnover, the penalty is just a holding penalty on Mount Airy, so it will negate the run and fumble recovery, quote-unquote, up to the 40-yard line, and it'll actually back them up inside the 20-yard line for the Granite Bears, who now have their work cut out for them, trailing Jefferson Forest 20-7, 3:08 left before halftime.
Well, I tell you what, the Granite Bears right here, their coach right now really needs to probably wholesale on the pass game right here. They got 3 minutes till half. They have not run the football effectively at all tonight, and let's see if they go straight to the air.
Francis out of the shotgun, ball off the right hash mark. More movement coming over on the far side. Flags come in. Referees are going to signal a false start. And Mount Airy, it seems like, is self-imploding. Too harsh of a phrase right now, Coach?
I tell you, they are causing their own misfortunes right now. They are showing some undiscipline, which those things can happen. And, yeah, right now they're in a 1st and 15 after that penalty. But just the way that slot receiver took off, this is a pass play based on the way he took off on that to run a deep route. See if they change the play or if they stick with a pass.
As talented as Ahmad Francis is, as a freshman, he's got his work cut out for him to settle this Mount Airy offense down. It's an inside handoff and only a gain of about 2 up to the 12. And brought down there was Kylan Mason. Only a gain of 2. JF's going to spend one of their timeouts, and we'll take it with them. A wise timeout. It'll be 2nd and 13 for Mount Airy with 3:01 to go before halftime, and they trail JF 20-7.
Got a crack problem? You know the symptoms. Poor reaction time, can't see straight, endless financial mess. Apple Auto Glass knows cracks in your windshield lead to serious problems for you and everyone on the roads. So bring your car to Apple Auto Glass as soon as you see the crack. Apple Auto Glass is still locally owned on Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg, so you'll speak with Harold, not Mystery Man from an 800 number. They'll handle insurance claims too. Apple Auto Glass, your local shop ensuring fast solutions to your windshield crack problems.
Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
With the coach, Rick Kennedy, I'm Ed Lane. It is a picturesque night here in the inspiration for Mayberry in the hit TV show Andy Griffith from back in the day, and a picturesque 73 degrees. You cannot ask for better weather. Not really a cloud in the sky, and temperatures giving us a light breeze, which we don't want more of since we're on a lift here at Mount Airy. 2nd and 13 for the Granite Bears at their own 12-yard line. JF just spent a timeout after the run. Francis rolls over to his left, floats a pass to Mason on the far side. It's out of the reach of the younger brother of Virginia Tech redshirting running back Tyler Mason. It's incomplete, and that might be another blessing for JF because they get to keep one of those timeouts in their back pocket as Mount Airy faces 3rd and long.
Well, that was their most effective play of the game right there, where they run the sprint out. They have the running back running a rail route about a 5-yard out, and that time, again, he made a bad throw out there to the running back who looked like it could have been an easy throw and catch right there, but again, a little bit of pressure right there coming off the edge right now. That was Thax Rowland bringing a little pressure off the edge when he's sprinting out, and that's part of the game plan to put some of that on the quarterback.
Timeout is called by Mount Airy. That is their second timeout spent this half. JF imploring the few fans that are here. We appreciate all those who are listening. They are imploring some cheering from those fans. We'll take a quick timeout as well. It's 20-7 JF and a chance to get the ball back and maybe add points before halftime on JF Cavalier Football presented by TrostLaw.com.
When it comes to legal matters, there is no substitute for experience. Hi, I'm Randy Trost with Trost Law. We've gained knowledge from serving Virginians for over 4 decades. Since 1982, we've handled auto accidents and personal injury cases ranging from simple fender benders to complex tractor-trailer cases. And we're ready to put our experience to work for you. We hope you never need our services, but if you do, just give us a call at 777-HURT or visit us at TrostLaw.com.
In the warm-up ICAST.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
2:55 remains, second quarter. Mount Airy ball. It's 3rd down and 13. They have spent 2 timeouts. The Cavaliers actually have only spent 1, so JF with 2 in their back pocket. Ahmad Francis gets ready for the shotgun snap. It's a 4-receiver set for the Granite Bears, and a swing throw over to the far side, bobbled and dropped. Jasper Wilmot, the junior wideout, looked like he was trying to secure that ball and make something happen, but he thought about what was ahead as opposed to coming into his body.
Well, I tell you what, he saw some white jerseys coming in at him right there, and there was a little bubble route right there, and he got big eyes when he saw the defense starting to come in on that throw, and he just let it go right through his hands.
And Mount Airy, as talented as they are, the discipline has been eluding them so far this evening as this game is unraveled. And JF, they've used their physicality to settle this game down and dictate the tempo. Sumner gets the high snap and gets it away. Crucial because he was punting from his end zone. Harris comes up. Fair catch called for and made. Middle of the field at the Mount Airy 40. And the clock still has 2:43 to go before halftime. Cavaliers have a chance to increase their 13-point advantage.
Well, they got 2 timeouts right here. They're on the 40-yard line of Mount Airy. Not sure what the field goal range is for the Cavalier field goal kicker right now, but a lot of good things happening right here for Coach Cruz in the offense with 2:43 and 2 timeouts in his pocket.
Rowland is actually lined up kind of wide in that H-back position. Jack Lee out wide to the left. Now in motion from right to left. Play fake. Jackson has it. Eludes one defender. Steps up. Fires. Caught rolling. Far side flat. 35. Breaks through a tackle at the 30. Barrels into Granite Bear defenders. Down to the 28. A 12-yard run and another physical run as Rowland turns around to look back. Actually, at his teammates, it seemed. And it's a first down for JF.
I'll tell you what, Thax Rowland right there. That was a misdirection play action where Peyton faked the play one way, kind of rolled and booted the other way, and made the throw to Thaxton.
Jackson, shotgun snap, flip throw, left side. Fox grabs it, 30, breaks out of a tackle at the 28, and is slung down by another one at the 27. A gain of about 1. And for JF, this may not be the worst thing just to keep that clock moving as we'll go under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. And a reminder, life does not give you a 2-minute warning, which is why a life insurance policy with Andy Matthews Insurance Agency might be right for you. Inside give, Fox barrels into a Granite Bear defender at the 25, hangs on to the ball. He's done a good job since the early fumble and is brought down by Kylan Mason after a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd and 6 coming up.
3rd and 6 right here. Ball's on a 24-yard line. Coach Cruz is trying to figure out what he wants to call right here. I'm thinking it's 2-down territory right here based on what happens on this play. A minute and a half. He's still got 2 timeouts in his pocket right here. This is a big play for this first half.
Jack Lee split wide to the left. Luke Johnson wide to the right. Fox, the H-back on the left, Rowland on the right. Fox goes in motion. Whistles come in. Looks like a timeout by Mount Airy. They will spend their final timeout with 73 immensely valuable ticks before halftime.
Well, I think what happened was that they saw a formation. They didn't see it. The quarterback right there, Peyton Jackson, was in the backfield by himself. and they hadn't seen that formation without a running back in there, so they called that timeout. Not sure what they were going to see right there, but again, this is good for the Cavaliers. Now they can settle down. Coach can really think about this play, even potentially the fourth down play if they don't get the first here.
JF, they have 2 timeouts. There is no need to feel like you're rushed if you're JF. There's the whole who's in the lead and who's in control. And you hit the nail on the head, even at the end of the first quarter when the Granite Bears were technically in the lead 7-6. It has always felt like JF, they've been the team in control. They have only increased that confidence and that thought as this second quarter has progressed. JF 20, Mount Airy 7, 73 invaluable seconds remaining before halftime. And JF will break the huddle and snap it on 3rd and 6 from the Granite Bear 24 off the left hash mark.
Yeah, Coach Cruz definitely had time with that timeout to really talk to the guys, let them know exactly what he wants to do on this third down play.
Barnett wide to the right, Jones to the left. This might be a deep pass play. It's a play fake. Looking over to the left, Jones on a comeback route has it at the 17. He went as deep as the 15, came back to the near sideline at the 17, grabbed it, pulls it in as the first down and 10 in the shallow red zone.
That play was absolutely beautiful. It was right in front of us. I mean, we were right there looking over top of it. What a beautiful 7-yard outside out route right there. The corner was in the back pedal right there. What a great timing throw that was. That's a lot of practice to get that right. Peyton Jackson took the snap, read that, timing perfect. The ball was right there on the cut. No way to defend that, and he's out of bounds to stop the clock.
Barnett in the H-back slot left. Fox H-back right. Barnett now goes behind and catches it on a pitch play. Breaks through a defender at the 20, stays on his feet at the 15, slung around far side and down at the 14 between the far side hash and the far side numbers on the open field tackle by Tyson Humans. And it's a gain of about 3, 2nd and 7 coming up. JF will spend one of their 2 timeouts with 59 seconds remaining before halftime, and will take that timeout with them. JF trying to build on their 20-7 lead right before halftime.
Gray skies are gonna clear up, put on a happy face.
Broadway's hip-shaking musical Bye Bye Birdie is coming to Forest. Rock out with Jefferson Forest Cavalier Theater October 9th at 7 p.m., October 11th at 1 and 7 p.m., and October 12th at 3 p.m. High energy, hilarious, toe-tapping fun for the whole family. Get your tickets right now at cavaliertheater.com.
I don't know if it's 35 points. So we'll have to operate like we don't know.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by
GoSlaw.com. You couldn't draw a better scene for Jefferson Forest so far in Mount Airy, North Carolina. It's a gorgeous town, perfect 73 degrees, and they have a second down and 6 coming up from the Mount Airy 14 on the right hash mark. A man in motion is Fox. He's behind Jackson. A play fake to him. Peyton Jackson rolls over to his left. Pump fakes. Now throws. Comeback route. Called Xander Coleman at the 5. He's slung out of bounds. They'll keep the clock going. As questionable as the near side official has been this evening, JF, it's 49 ticks. They do stop the clock to move the chains or at least reset it. And while we're confused, I'll actually say this. JF can settle down and milk some more time off because it's 1st and goal at the 6, and they do have a timeout. Jackson will call for a play from the shotgun. Coleman to his right. Jackson looks to the end zone. Pump fakes, rolls over to his right. Now will take off from the 10. Right side hash 5. Barrels toward the Impact Church end zone. Is he in? Yes, he is. Touchdown, JF.
Wow, what a great job right there. What a great run. What a great attempted tackle on the goal line. Pretty good collision right there, but what a great job, Peyton Jackson able to buy time, not found a receiver and decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to take it myself, and did it. What a great job. And again, I don't understand why the clock didn't stop. Not only was it a first down, on top of that, he was out of bounds. So again, just some questionable decisions right there.
A man jumps offside for Mount Airy. They blow it dead because there was a little movement. And the JF Cavaliers, I think, are going to go for 2 now. They want to change it up off the offside. 1st and goal at the half. They're going to try to make it an even 28-7 lead with 23 ticks before intermission.
Hey, this is the right call right now. Mount Airy jumped off sides right there, so the ball moves from the 3-yard line to the 1.5. And again, they have not been able to stop the runs inside the tackle right here. I mean, this is a no-brainer to me. What a great call by Coach Cruz, going for this 2-point conversion with only a 1.5-yard distance between him and pay dirt.
And JF, a lot of this is trusting your center, Ethan Mandel, and the guards, Seth Bell and Chase Spraker, to just impose their will as they've done this evening. And a snap, and it looked like another player moved, and the near side official, who has been extremely questionable, we'll just be diplomatic about it, signals false start. I don't know if I agree with that one, but it is. And now JF is going to reverse and go with the traditional point after that official's decision.
Well, again, we got a back and forth going on right here. So now that penalty moves JF back to the 7-yard line. The field goal team is back on for the extra point.
It'll be a 24-yard kick for Austin Walker. Calling for it. It's high, snap down, kick on the way from Walker is up, and his confidence might be going up because the kick went up and through. 27-7, JF leading at Mount Airy. 23 seconds remaining before halftime on JF Cavalier Football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
True health isn't about judgment, it's about empowerment. At Crossroads Family Dentistry, we partner with you to help you understand your options and make the best decisions for your health.
Oh, my goodness.
Non-judgmental environment. Are you ready to take control of your total body wellness? Visit us on 221 in Forest or at CrossroadsFamilyDentistryVA.com and call us today for your appointment. Because when you feel good about your smile, you'll feel good about your health.
You're listening to Jefferson Forest Cavalier Football on Virginia's talk station, WIQO Forest, 100.9 FM.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Well, that flag actually is justified. The kick rolled out of bounds on Jefferson Forest's ensuing kickoff, and so the ball will be moved up to the 35, which is, I believe, where they'll spot this. They'll actually, I think, be 5 yards from there up to the 38. Off what is technically an illegal procedure penalty. Mount Airy, they've got their work cut out for them. They took the early 7-0 lead, but that was off of a JF turnover in a short field, 25-yard pitch and catch from Ahmad Francis to Zach Goins. But since then, JF, they have been in control. It took them a while to get in the lead, but now they have both 23 ticks before halftime.
Wow, interesting right there. Why they're actually have declined the penalty. I know they accepted the penalty to make them kick again. Or is that declining the penalty?
No, you can choose what to do, Coach. If you want, you can make it a 5-yard penalty, or it goes up to the 35 if it's further back than that, depending on what's more advantageous. Or you can make them kick off again. The one thing I'll say is, and we've seen this before, this re-kick is a lot different from like re-kicking a punt where guys are sprinting full-fledged downfield. That was a squib kick. There wasn't a lot of running by JF. And now they actually have to get another ball. So it's just adding to the delay and the potential for JF's offense to calm down.
I'm really thinking that Mount Airy here is wanting to get a return right here, thinking they might have a chance to maybe break something, which they had a pretty good run last kickoff, so maybe he's thinking there's an opportunity here.
Walker will wait. It's a squib kick, bobbles, bounce, picked up. 27-yard line over off the far side. Sumner, not necessarily the guy you want to return if you're trying to get an explosive return. He's 5'8", and a buck 80.
So that cost them about 8 yards and 6 seconds to make that kick over again. So that was not the correct decision by the Mount Airy Granite Bears.
There have been some, should we say, questionable calls here for Mount Airy. If you're JF, they have looked very well prepared. The most telling thing is how JF had the early fumble, the turnover, fell down early, and there has been zero panic in this Cavalier team.
Yeah, no, even at that point, going down 7-0, you didn't see any type of, concern. We need to do something. I mean, let's just play our game, stick with the game plan.
Shotgun snap, handoff left side. Mason breaks a tackle up to the 35. Left side spins up to the 40. It's a 9-yard gain. The problem for Mount Airy to run another play is they burned all their timeouts. Somehow the clock is stopped. Now it's reset again, but that little stutter step would have been enough for Mount Airy to get going, but they have conceded no as they're already marching toward the locker room. Well, it's been somewhat sloppy for a lot of folks, but thankfully for JF fans, it has not been sloppy outside of the one turnover for the JF Cavaliers. They have the 20-7 lead over Mount Airy. We'll take a timeout. Ty Tracy will give you a recap, some scores from the first half. We'll have keys to the second half as well. This is Jefferson Forest Cavalier football presented by TrostLaw.com with the score, Jefferson Forest 27, Mount Airy 7.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a place for you. Here is more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact has a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
Considering buying life insurance? Then ask Andy, your local Erie family life agent. Andy Matthews has been selling life insurance for 33 years right here in Central Virginia and has been a great sponsor of JF Athletics. Many Virginia families have Erie Family Life as part of their insurance portfolio. Look for the Andy Matthews Agency located on Waterlick Road right here locally and not just an 800 number in some unknown office. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance.
When it comes to legal matters, there is no substitute for experience. Hi, I'm Randy Trost with Trost Law. We've gained knowledge from serving Virginians for over 4 decades. Since 1982, we've handled auto accidents and personal injury cases ranging from simple fender benders to complex tractor-trailer cases. And we're ready to put our experience to work for you. We hope you never need our services, but if you do, just give us a call at 777-HURT or visit us at TrostLaw.com.
Yeah.
Leaks on the offensive line in the defensive secondary with special teams coverage create problems in football. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating knows leaks at your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants.
Find out.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community support. Teamwork means the right consult who truly listens to what you want and need for your home or business. Dedication is doing the job right and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit centralvaflooring.com and drop by Central VA Flooring on Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community spirit.
It's easy to forget we've got a lot to be thankful for. A gorgeous place to live, friendly people, and the freedom to be our best. Apple Auto Glass wants to remind you of how wonderful things still are. And of course, when you need to fix a crack in your windshield, side window, or mirror, you can trust Apple Auto Glass. When you call Apple Auto Glass, you'll speak with Harold or one of his associates, not some mystery man from an 800 number. So take time, give thanks, and when you need to fix your glass, call Apple Auto Glass, Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg.
Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Welcome to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football halftime show presented by TrostLaw.com. I'm Todd Tracy here, and what a first half been so far 27-7. Jefferson Forest really is on a roll right now against Mount Airy, the Granite Bears. I mean, what can you say? I feel like this game, they was more prepared the first half. I think like it was a slow start and everything. I think they was trying to like figure out if it was taking too much till like they find like, okay, let's stop thinking, let's play some football, how we play football, how we play JF football. And they managed to do that. So I feel like they really are especially dominate up front. They stop in a run, a team that's heavy run. And that's how you do it. You put uncomfortable positions, and that's what happened. So I feel like they is really on a roll right now. The only thing second half is the game's not over. They still down by 20. It's still a ball game. It's still anybody's game. They could come back and it could be a whole change of momentum that nobody doesn't know. It could be off of special teams or turnover. So I feel like they have to keep the momentum going in order to win this game, especially in the North Carolina area and stuff. So I feel like Jeff was playing great football first half. Now, second half, that's all matters. They had to keep it up. If they keep it up, it's going to be a successful night, a long night for Mount Airy. So that's how you do it. So after this, next now, we're going to have halftime scores and updates around the area, some college football, and much more next. This is the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
When it comes to legal matters, there is no substitute for experience. Hi, I'm Randy Trost with Trost Law. We've gained knowledge from serving Virginians for over 4 decades. Since 1982, we've handled auto accidents and personal injury cases ranging from simple fender benders to complex tractor-trailer cases. And we're ready to put our experience to work for you. We hope you never need our services, but if you do, just give us a call at 777-HURT or visit us at TrostLaw.com.
Considering buying life insurance? Then ask Andy, your local Airy family life agent. Andy Matthews has been selling life insurance for 33 years right here in Central Virginia and has been a great sponsor of JF Athletics. Many Virginia families have Airy Family Life as part of their insurance portfolio. Look for the Andy Matthews Agency located on Waterlick Road right here locally, and not just an 800 number in some unknown office. With over 33 years of experience, Andy Matthews is your go-to agent for life insurance.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a place for you. Here is more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact has a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
As a privately owned nonprofit organization, the Forest Youth Athletic Association thrives off volunteers. Volunteering with the FYAA ensures children throughout the Forest community have a local place to participate in sports like wiffle ball, t-ball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer, football, flag football, basketball, and cheer. FYAA depends on volunteers and needs your support, whether that's volunteering your time, money, resources, or a combination of your gifts. Visit forestyouth.org to learn more about how you can support FYAA.
It's the perfect time to take your car to Meineke to make sure your engine starts perfectly this year. Whether you need tires, brakes, engine repairs, or simply an oil change, Meineke has you covered with certified technicians, free digital e-inspections with pictures and videos, and financing options. They're there to not only help you start your engine, but keep it running smoothly all year long. They're your one-stop shop for car care needs. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke, doing car care right.
After the long road trip to Mount Airy, Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com, returns to Bedford County as JF begins Seminole District play at the Liberty Minutemen. Your Central VA Flooring kickoff show starts at 6:30 this Friday, September 19th. Join us on the Virginia's Talk Station app, 100.9 FM Lynchburg, 95.5 FM Bedford, and Open Virginia Talk Radio Network on your smart speaker. Day of Football is also presented by Apple Auto Glass, Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Bedford, Clyde Smith Plumbing, Impact Church, and the Concrete Wizard.
Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Welcome back to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com halftime show. I'm Todd Tracy. Now here's some halftime scores around the high school area in Lynchburg, Virginia now. BES versus Hargrave as right now that's the scores game. Amherst County versus Mecklenburg as right now Amherst is up 13-0 against Mecklenburg. Scores game between Smith Mountain Lake Christian Academy and Chatham. Scores game against Buckingham County versus William Campbell is a 28-3 ball game where Glenvar's lead is beating Cave Springs. Scores game between Gretna and Tunsil. As right now, as Williamsburg up against Christiansburg 17-0. Liberty Bedford and Stan River as right now that's the scores game. Northside versus Hidden Valley as right now Northside is up big against Hidden Valley 28-0. A tight ball game between Lower Bowtie and Alta Vista as right now Lower Bowtie is up by 2 touchdowns against Alta Vista 28-14. A solid game right now as right now Magda Vista is up 27-7 against Rustburg. Big lead between Heritage and Appomattox as right now Heritage is up 28-0. And Brookville is dominating Halifax right now as Brookville is up 28-0 against Halifax. And tight ball game between GW Danville and EC Glass Hilltoppers as right now GW is up by 3 points against EC Glass 10-7. And those are your halftime scores around the area. As right now we got some college football on a Friday night. As right now we got Indiana State versus Indiana. As right now is a huge lead between Indiana as they up 45-0 against Indiana State. Syracuse versus Coolgate as right now Syracuse dominate the game 31-3 against Coolgate. Tight ball game right now as right now Deion Sanders and Colorado versus Houston as right now Houston's up 10-0. And then we have game later on we have Kansas State versus Arizona. Kickoff starts at 9. Then New Mexico versus UCLA as kickoff starts at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Now your triple header for tomorrow and for college football triple header tomorrow and NFL Sunday. As right now we got the first game that we're going to air on VTRN Sports. We have number 12 Clemson versus Georgia Tech. As right now kickoff starts at 12 o'clock, but coverage starts at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. Georgia Bulldogs versus the Tennessee Volunteers. The coverage starts at 3 o'clock. Kickoff starts at 3:30. Then the Old Dominion versus Virginia Tech, as coverage starts at 5 o'clock Eastern time, with kickoff starts at 7. Like I said before, for tomorrow's triple header, we have number 12 Clemson versus Georgia Tech. Coverage starts at 11:30. Kickoff starts at 12. Georgia versus Tennessee. Coverage starts at 3. Kickoff starts at 3:30 p.m. Then ODU versus Virginia Tech with coverage starts at 5 and kickoff starts at 7 p.m. nighttime. Add some NFL triple headers for Sunday, the double header on Monday, as we got the New York Football Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys will be a 1 o'clock game. Coverage starts at 12:30. Super Bowl rematch, Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs with coverage starts at 3:45 and kickoff starts at 4:25 p.m. Eastern time. Then we got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings with kickoff starts at 8 p.m. and coverage starts at 6 p.m. As I said, for Sunday triple header, the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys coverage starts at 12:30, kickoff starts at 1. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs coverage starts at 3:45, kickoff starts at 4:25. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings coverage starts at 6 and kickoff starts at 8:20 p.m. As for Monday night doubleheader, we got the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Houston Texans with coverage starts at 6 p.m. Kickoff starts at 7 p.m. The LA Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders as kickoff starts at 10 p.m. As I said for Monday, the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Houston Texans. Kickoff starts at 7 p.m. Coverage starts at 6. Then the LA Chargers versus the Raiders as the game kicks off at 10 p.m. Those all your college football, your triple headers for VTR and triple headers for tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday, and your halftime scores around the area. Now, next we'll go to a quick commercial break. Then we'll head back to Mount Airy's as Ed Lane and Coach Rick Kennedy give you more jail football in the second half, and Coach Rick Kennedy give you 3 keys to the second half. This is the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TroShaw.com halftime show.
Broadway's hip-shaking musical Bye Bye Birdie is coming to Forest. Rock out with Jefferson Forest Cavalier Theater October 9th at 7 p.m., October 11th at 1 and 7 p.m., and October 12th at 3 p.m. High energy, hilarious toe-tapping fun for the whole family. Get your tickets right now at cavaliertheater.com.
Oh, yeah!
As a privately owned nonprofit organization, the Forest Youth Athletic Association thrives off volunteers. Volunteering with the FYAA ensures children throughout the Forest community have a local place to participate in sports like wiffle ball, t-ball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, soccer, football, flag football, basketball, and cheer. FYAA depends on volunteers and needs your support, whether that's volunteering your time, money, resources, or a combination of your gifts. Visit forestyouth.org to learn more about how you can support FYAA.
Central VA Flooring is a proud supporter of local high school football. Why? Because the culture at Central VA Flooring is built on teamwork, dedication, and community support. Teamwork means the right consult who truly listens to what you want and need for your home or business. Dedication is doing the job right and the community spirit of the entire Central VA Flooring team behind your project. Visit centralvaflooring.com and drop by Central VA Flooring on Timberlake Road to experience the power of teamwork, dedication, and community spirit.
Leaks on the offensive line, in the defensive secondary, or with special teams coverage create problems in football. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating knows leaks at your home or business create problems too, like building and belonging damage and lost productivity. That's why you should call Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313 when a leak is threatening your home or business. Clyde Smith Plumbing and Heating at 525-3313, proudly supporting JF athletes, coaches, and all activity participants. This Friday, September 19th, Seminole District play begins for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TroSlaw.com. The JF Cavaliers visit
I'm good. Come on over.
Battle. Your Central VA Flooring kickoff show begins at 6:30 on the Virginia's Talk Station app.
I wouldn't be rushing you if I didn't. This thing turns on
your smart speaker. JF football is also presented by Cavalier Theater's presentation by Family Dentistry, Forest Youth Athletic Association, Meineke Car Care, and the Andy Matthews.
All right, here we go.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly, because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact is a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact.
I think we're a little more elevated this half.
Meeting you this Sunday.
So I think we're a little more elevated.
Jefferson Forest High School.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TroSlaw.com.
Back here as we get ready for the start of the third quarter, Jefferson Forest actually trailed this game 7-0. They had a fumble by Cam Fox, who has since exploded with motivation, but he fumbled the ball, and it was a quick Ahmad Francis to Zach Golan's 25-yard touchdown pitching catch on a slant route that made it 7-0 Mount Airy. Since then, the JF Cavaliers have physically dominated and imposed their will in this contest. They have marched down the field effectively and methodically. And the most impressive part really has been the fact that they've kept their cool. There have been some calls that were maybe questionable officiating that went their way. Jefferson Forest, meanwhile, there's been a little pushing and shoving out of frustration from Mount Airy. One of them was a personal foul, 15-yard penalty that extended one of the JF scoring drives. But through it all, the Cavaliers have looked disciplined, they've looked locked in, and they look like a team right now that is trying to really assert themselves heading into the start of Seminole District play next week. Coach, there were a lot of mitigating factors entering this contest tonight, from what for us is a 2.5-hour drive. On a bus, it's 3+ hours. You never know how a team's going to respond. JF looked a little rusty early in terms of on their heels when Mount Airy marched down the field. They settled down. They forced a Mount Airy punt. JF turned the ball over on their second play from scrimmage, and it resulted in a quick Mount Airy touchdown. But give credit to JT Cruz. He and this JF team, they have found a way to settle themselves down. And since then, while JF has not been in the lead the whole time, they have been in control, and it's gotten them a 27-7 advantage to start the third quarter.
Yeah, again, coming down here to Mount Airy, they really didn't have – they had some game film to watch, but, again, that only tells you so much. You know, when you got down here and you did the eye test, Mount Airy looked like a solid team, big linemen, big speed-looking, athletic guys, and you're like, wow, this looks like a pretty good team, but they have yet to prove any of that on the field. JF has done a great job controlling the line of scrimmage. They have run the ball at will. They have shut down the run of the Mount Airy Granite Bears, forcing them to really try to live and die through the air. And once they started pressuring the quarterback for Mount Airy, they have really not moved the ball at all. So JF has settled down after that first series. They are in control here. They're getting the ball to start this third quarter. They just need to keep the train rolling.
So now your next question, Coach, and that is your keys to the second half, presented by Meineke Car Care, where you can make sure the keys to your car continue to work with a car that's functioning. Meineke Car Care on Forest Road in Forest. What are your keys to the second half, Coach?
Well, the keys to the second half is you don't want to lose focus. A lot of times for a teenager, you're up 27-7, you're controlling the game, and you want to take your foot off the gas. Mentally, they need to stay sharp. Mentally, again, they need to go back to, hey, 0-0. Let's come out here. Let's prove ourselves offensively and defensively. So to me, it's more mental key to the game for the second half right now. And again, defensively, continue to shut down the run, which is what they've done, force them to have to go to the air and then pressure the quarterback.
Cavaliers will have a chance to impose that early. It's a squib kick from the Granite Bears for JF to fall on at the 38 in the middle of the field. As no return for JF, but you'll gladly take that as Jack Lee was there to fall on the ball, and JF will start 12 yards from the midfield stripe with a 27-7 lead in the third quarter.
Well, again, I look for Coach Cruz to pick up right where he left off. They have established the run. They have dominated simply with the run game, and I think that's going to continue right here. Again, they want to have ball security out of their running backs. And, again, defensively right now, 4-3 is what the Granite Bears are still in.
Jackson to work out of the shotgun, the snap, and a handoff over to the right side, keeping his legs churning up to about the 40. There's not much there, and Mount Airy did a good job of plugging up Dax Rowland's hole for a gain of what we'll call about a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up as JF back to work and trying to solve some keys to penetrating this Granite Bear defense.
Yeah, again, that's one of the first times we've seen big number 77, Solomon Washington, coming in probably at a solid 335, 340 right there. He was able to kind of hold up the offense and make that play for a short gain.
JF, they get a gain of about a half yard. Actually, they'll mark it at 2nd and about 9.5 is what we'll call. Fox to the left of Jackson. It's rolling in motion. A misdirection handoff over to the far side. Johnson, he turns the corner, 45, and he's slung down just shy of midfield in front of the Granite Bear bench around the 49. Good burst, though, for JF. It should be enough for a first down. It is. They'll move the chains.
Wing counter right there. Again, all the motion going to the wide side of the field with the rocket motion. Everything looks like it's going wide, and that wing just sneaks back underneath right there for the counter. And, again, the Granite Bears not able to really stop that play. They have yet to really make that play be a negative. It's been positive yardage every time the JF Cavaliers have run the wing counter.
Jack Lee, the lone receiver, he split wide out to the left side. He's on the near side hash. Ball's on the far hash, just shy of midfield. Man in motion, it's Coleman, and it's an inside give to Fox. He follows the interior of the line past the midfield stripe, down to the Granite Bear 48, picks up 3, 2nd and 7 on the way.
Yeah, again, another little short run right there. But again, you're not seeing any of the linebackers right there. Middle linebacker, number 12 for the Granite Bears, Tyson Yomas. He is right there, but he is getting blocked and not able to help out on those inside runs. You have to have a middle linebacker that wants to stick his nose in there if you're going to have any chance. And they are not getting that out of their defense right here. 2nd and 7 right now for the Cavaliers.
Jackson's calling for it in motion. It's Coleman. He'll get it on the pitch left side. 50, turns the corner, 45-40, follows blockers near side 30, and he steps out of bounds, trotting into the track area on the near side. We're over in front of us at the 20, but he actually stepped out at the 28. Still, it's a pickup of 20 for Xander Coleman. And what's scary for this JF offense is we've seen Coleman break off these runs a couple of times of 15 to 25 yards, and it just looks so effortless, like there's still another gear or two that he could access.
Well, again, the only thing that stopped that play was it got pinched into the sideline by the safety finally coming over, but they had the corner blocked. They had everybody blocked. That run was so easy.
Coleman in motion now to the far side, misdirection handoff, left side, slung down, but breaking out of a tackle out of the backfield is Barnett. He actually gets forward down to the 27. That's a good job. That was destined to be a loss of about 3 to the 31. Instead, he turns it into, they might call it no gain, but even if it's just that, that's an impressive job of being tenacious by Gabe Barnett.
Well, they came back with the wing counter back to the short side of the field right there. And then what ended up happening was the wing counter hole was actually plugged. And so when he bounced it outside, the corner was right there, but he was able to at least break through some of that and get back to the line of scrimmage for a no gain.
Ball spotted, left hash mark at the Mount Airy 28, 2nd and 10. Clock under 9 minutes to go, third quarter. Handoff rolling, barrels through a tackle in the 25, drags the Granite Bear defender down to the 19. That time he dragged Kylan Mason, defensive back, who would come over to try to plug that hole. And as long as you're hearing us mention defensive backs making tackles on JF runners, you'll gladly take it. And for JF now, it's 3rd and 1 in the shallow red zone.
Yeah, big 9-yard run right there up the middle for Thax Rowland. And again, the offensive line is just doing a great job technique-wise. They're getting underneath these big guys up front. They are not able to stop the run.
Coleman in motion, left to right, handoff Fox, breaks through a tackle at the 17. He fights his way down just shy of the 15. He needed 1, gets about 3.5. And that'll be a first down coming up for JF as the clock is stuck at 8:08 temporarily. And the Cavaliers trying to grow their 27-7 advantage.
Again, another run right there. As long as you can continue to run the ball like the Cavaliers are doing, Coach Cruz knows that he's going to control the clock. He's going to control his ability to get first downs right here. He's going to keep the Granite Bears from having the ball right here. And again, they're already deep into the red zone right now, right after the halftime.
No back in the backfield, although Fox will go from the H-back roll to it. Play fake, floating to the right side. Wide open, 3 yards in the end zone is Thax Rowland. He skies, pulls it down. Touchdown JF on their 5th trip to the Impact Church end zone.
Well, I tell you what, the run sets that up. The run sets that up. The play action, every Granite Bear thought they were going to run the football right there. You had both the tight end and the H-back released down the seam. There was nobody, not a safety, not a corner, nobody. They was wide open. What an easy throw and catch right there for Peyton Jackson right now on the night. He has just been on fire throwing the football.
And now Mount Airy looks like they jump before the extra point. Could have been attempted. JF eager to go for 2. They are going to do it off the offsides.
Well, here we go again. This exact thing that happened right before halftime right now. The Granite Bears jumping off sides. You move from the 3 to the 1.5. Coach Cruz electing to send the offense back on right here. And The last time we were here in this exact situation, JF then jumped off sides, moving them back 5. They went back to the field extra point and made that one. But see what happens here on this 2-point conversion.
Jackson's going to be out of the shotgun. Barnett, the bruising back, Fox, the bruising back, to his right. Now goes behind, now to the left. Roland goes in motion, gets it on the handoff, follows the left side of the line. He's back in the Impact Church end zone for the 2-point conversion and a clean 35-7 JF lead with 7:38 to go here in the third quarter on JF Cavalier Football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Got a crack problem? You know the symptoms. Poor reaction time. Can't see straight. Endless financial mess. Apple Auto Glass knows cracks in your windshield lead to serious problems for you and everyone on the roads. So bring your car to Apple Auto Glass as soon as you see the crack. Apple Auto Glass is still locally owned on Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg, so you'll speak with Harold, not Mystery Man from an 800 number. They'll handle insurance claims too. Apple Auto Glass, your local shop ensuring fast solutions to your windshield crack problems.
Gray skies are gonna clear up, but on a happy face.
Broadway's hip-shaking musical Bye Bye Birdie is coming to Forest. Rock out with Jefferson Forest Cavalier Theater October 9th at 7 p.m., October 11th at 1 and 7 p.m., and October 12th at 3 p.m.
Oh my goodness, today not.
Toe tap and fun for the whole family. Get your tickets right now at cavaliertheater.com.
Oh, baby, oh yeah.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
With all due respect to Alex Bainauer, and when that phrase comes out, it's not usually one of endearment, but that's not who Mount Airy wants fielding the kickoff return. It was a shorter kick to the upback Alex Bainauer. They would have preferred it going to the deep one, Zach Goins, but alas, JF, they've avoided that since he caught that initial touchdown reception. And they'll take their chances with the Granite Bears starting at their own 42, but trailing JF 35-7, 7:32 go in the third quarter. The freshman Ahmad Francis has work cut out for him to lead a comeback. Handoff off the left side. Mason breaks a tackle in the 45, past midfield into JF territory. Off the far side, Numbers at the 45, stays on his feet toward the Granite Bear bench. It gets them fired up, if nothing more than temporarily, as it's a 35-7 game, but Mount Airy moving the chains, trying to get back to the Impact Church end zone.
I'll tell you what, that was probably the longest run of the night right there for the Granite Bears. And again, made a pretty good move at the line of scrimmage, was able to cut back and turn that into a pretty good run of about 12 yards.
So Mount Airy picks up 12 there at the JF 42. And actually, that's a run of about 16. And it looks like a flag may be called on JF. It is. And it's going to be, I think, a personal foul face mask. So tack on 15 more yards. And from Mount Airy, you'll take all the help you can get trying to get just your second trip to the Impact Church end zone if they make it.
Yeah, that immediately puts them deep into JF territory right now with the ball inside the 30 after that run and the face mask penalty.
Francis calls for the shotgun snap, handoff to Mason, left side, sheds a tackler at the 27, but then brought down by, it looked like Pearson Brooks, who's making his case to be the FYA defensive player of the game, and it was Brooks who led the charge. Jack Lee was also in on the stop. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Granite Bears.
Yeah, 3-yard run right there. They came back, actually went with the exact same play. It's almost like looks like a little zone, inside zone read play right there, but you have yet to see the quarterback pull it. It's always been a handoff to the running back on that inside zone.
Ahmad Francis gets ready for the shotgun snap and calls for it with 10 on the play clock. Handoff Mason left side, hitting the backfield, stumbles out of a tackle from Pearson Brooks, and then gets down to about the 25 or so. That's what they'll say. Picks up 2, 3rd and 5 coming up.
3rd and 5 right here, and I guess the situation at this point right now for the Granite Bears is this has to be 2-down territory. I mean, as a coach, you got to be thinking we got to get a first down right here. So they got 2 plays here offensively now to try to get this first down on the 25 of the Cavaliers.
Mount Airy taking their time. Play clock shows 9, 8, 7. Francis can look at it before getting the snap with 6 on it, and a roll out to the right, floats it over to the far side, the near side, and it's incomplete. In and out of the outstretched arms of Alex Spainhour, and he is well suited for that, but that throw was a little bit wide, and Spainhour looked like he had trouble timing that, would have pulled it in around the 20 near the first down marker. Instead, it's incomplete.
Well, I tell you, all they did was the slot receiver ran an out. Number 1 cleared the corner out on a deep post, and number 2 ran an out route, and the quarterback just kind of overthrew him. It was a little too far out of his reach, hitting his fingertips, but now it puts him in this 4th down.
4th down from the 24 for the Granite Bears, trying to get into the shallow red zone to pick up a first down or get to the Impact Church end zone for a touchdown. Francis calling out a play call to his 2 receivers to the right and 1 left. Low snap, scoops it off the grass, picks it up now, has to float it to the far side, but he throws it out of bounds, incomplete. Maybe not aware it's 4th down, and that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Wow, I thought he was thinking that there was a receiver over there, but I do think he was just kind of throwing it away to not take a sack. And sure enough, 4th down, that turns the ball back over to the Cavaliers, and the threat just like that is over for the Granite Bears.
And the way the JF Cavaliers moved the ball on their opening drive of this half, taking up 4 minutes and 24 seconds, that will get them under the 2-minute warning here of this 3rd quarter if they can have another meticulous drive down the field.
Well, I tell you, we have yet to really see, other than the turnover by Mr. Fox on that first series, they have not been able to stop the Cavaliers.
Low snap, it's a handoff. Johnson gets it off the left side of the line from the 24 up to the 28, picks up 4. JF positive yardage on first down, and 4-yard chunks up 35-7. The Cavaliers will gladly take that as we're in the middle of the 3rd quarter.
I tell you, this is by far the most between the tackle running we have seen, and it's due to the success of the fact that JF has been able to chunk off anywhere from 3 to 7 or 8 yards almost every time they have run anything between the tackles tonight.
Jack Lee, the lone receiver, split wide to the left. It's a snap and a handoff, and scooting behind the left side of the line up to maybe the 29, if that, as it looked like that run was Thax Rowland. It was. Picks up a yard. It'll be 3rd down for Mount Airy, and I mean, this is an understatement since they're trailing 35-7, but they need to get off the field and then channel the words of the old mythical ULA coach from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. All they need is 4 quick touchdowns, and they'll be right back in this one.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 right here for the Cavaliers. See what he calls up different. See if he tries to go with the rocket sweep and try to get to the sideline, letting Xander Coleman use his speed to get out.
Peyton Jackson calls for the shotgun snap, pitches it over to Coleman. You called it off the left side, turns the corner, 30, 35. You called it as well. First down, 40, down the left side to midfield, and he's pushed out of bounds and then let go of by a couple of Granite Bear defenders, including Carson Strickland, a defensive back, once again mentioning that position. But Xander Coleman, you called that to a T, Coach. It's a 23-yard run and a JF first down.
Well, I tell you, early in the first half, they had the safety rolling up on the motion, and they are not doing that now. And they're losing an extra defender over there to the rocket sweep side, and that's just easy blocking one-on-one over there on that corner, opening up the outside lane for Xander Coleman. That's taking candy from a baby right there.
Coleman will not get it on the misdirection. Instead, it's a handoff for Net left side, 45. Stutter steps 40, stays in bounds at the 35, spins out of the tackle at the 33, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 30. And this is even more emphatic for JF. They are now ripping off chunk yards on their last 2 runs. 22 and 20-yard runs for this Cavalier offense, and they're on the verge of getting back into the red zone. They're 10 yards from that.
Yeah, that was a wing counter right there, and that time the wing hole opened up perfect right there. And for the Cavaliers, that was Gabe Barnett running wide open. He didn't even get touched till after 15 yards. He was in the secondary before the corner and the safety were able to even get a hand on him.
Timeout, Mount Airy to regroup down 35-7. 3:53 left in the third quarter. We'll take it with them after this on JF Cavalier Football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
What if you knew that true health and wellness starts in your mouth? At Crossroads Family Dentistry in Forest, we believe your oral health is a window into your overall body health. Your mouth isn't a separate entry, it's a critical part of a complex system. That's why we take a co-diagnostic approach. We don't just tell you what you need, we show you using simple language and digital imaging. For a collaborative approach to your oral health, come see us. Crossroads Family Dentistry on 221 in Forest.
Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Mount Airy trailing 35-7. They spent one of their timeouts with 3:53 to go in the third quarter, and it might be trying to settle down after giving up 22 to Xander Coleman and 20 to Gabe Barnett yard runs, and now facing the potential for another JF score. Man in motion, it's Coleman, but a handoff left side, plowing through one tackle, Charleston Harris to the 24. They'll actually give him a lunge down to the 22. 8-yard pickup, and the theme of chunk plays continuing in this third quarter.
Well, I tell you, with the ball moving right down in front of us right now, we're on the lift about 15, 18 feet in the air, looking straight down on the line of scrimmage right there, and the Mount Airy front line just is not firing out. They're standing straight up, and the Cavaliers are getting their hands up under their pads right there and able to block every single one right there because of just a simple technique of not firing out but standing straight up.
This time Johnson, the run, not much, gets down just shy of the 20. He's brushed back. It'll be about a half yard from the first down, but wisely and most importantly, he holds on to the ball as Braddock Sumner, the defensive back, who is still playing hard despite his Mount Airy Granite Bears trailing by 4 scores, holds him to just 1.5 yards, and now third down coming up in what is certainly 4-down territory for JF.
Yeah, they're looking at less than a yard right here, about the length of the football based on what we're looking at right down on the field, from where the football is to the first down marker. You're looking at about a football length here on this third and short.
Ball left hash for JF. Roland goes in motion, gets it, follows a blocker, hitting the backfield, keeps his legs fighting. He's actually going to be pushed back for a loss of 1 yard. They'll actually only say it's a half yard. That's probably going to be a generous in favor of JF's spot. One of the few times that's happened tonight. And JF will have a 4th down and 1 play call coming up as the clock will go under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. And a reminder, life does not give you a 2-minute warning. So this 2-minute warning gives you a chance to make your decision to head to the Andy Matthews Insurance Agency on Waterlick Road in Lynchburg and find out if the Erie Family Life Insurance policy plans available are right for you. Andy Matthews, your trusted Erie Insurance advisor. 4th and 1 coming up. Peyton Jackson calling for it. He looks back over to the sideline. There's 7 on the play clock. Has it. Snap. QB keeper. First down. Right side. Past the 15. Drags Granite Bears inside the 10. Down to the 9-yard line.
Quarterback run right there. He followed his blocker for him. Cam Fox turned into the lead blocker right there. And they just blew through the front line of the Granite Bears right there for a huge 4th down conversion, putting them into the inside the 10-yard line right now with a new set of downs here as this third quarter is winding down.
Cavaliers can milk the clock. They're under 73 seconds to go in the third quarter. Peyton Jackson from the shotgun. Barnett from behind. Fox from behind to the right. Coleman in motion, gets it on a pitch play, slips the tackle at the 10. 5, right side, glides into the Impact Church end zone at the G on the far side, crossing the goal line for the JF touchdown.
Well, I tell you what, the Granite Bears did actually one of their better jobs trying to secure the edge right there. They were able to have the safety come up on that play and cut off the outside, but that was one of the opportunities there where we actually saw the full speed of Xander Coleman, because as soon as he cut inside that safety, he put out another gear right there and just blew by everybody else trying to come over.
Yeah, those guys coming over stood no chance. They might have been Granite Bears, but they felt like they were Granite and Bears because they had no movement there. Extra point is up, and it is through. And it's a 42-7 JF lead. 56 seconds remaining in the third quarter. We'll get an answer to the most important question when we return on JF Cavalier Football, presented by TrostLaw.com, and we'll tell you what that is after this.
Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram and
we
Bedford
don't
is
know.
proud to be a sponsor of Jefferson Forest High School football. At Magic City, we take great pride in our community and the people who call it home. And when it comes to providing Bedford and the surrounding communities with outstanding sales and service, Magic City leads the way. Stop in at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford at 1750 Independence Boulevard, or shop us at MagicCityBedford.com. MagicCityBedford.com.
Yeah.
Warm weather means traveling. Hi, I'm Randy Trost from Trost Law with a couple of safety reminders. Always wear your seatbelt. Don't drive distracted or impaired. And remember, it's better to safely arrive a little later than being in an auto accident. Those things can make a big difference between a fun family trip or a painful alternative. At Trost Law, I hope you never need our services, but if you do, we're here to help you. 777
Usually they're either disorganized or they're like games and shit. Doesn't really work.
Kind of really good coach.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Spainhour bobbles into the 29, gets up to the 40, breaks through a vicious couple of JF defenders colliding into each side of him as Jones and Johnson collided into him at the 42, but he stayed on his feet, and Spainhour, give him credit. While we made a point, he's not necessarily the desired returner. That's Goins, the deep man. He's shown some toughness and really did on that run for the Granite Bears. And now we get the answer to our most important question, Coach. Do they have running clocks at the 35-point margin? The answer is yes. So we might not even have another snap in this third quarter. It's 42-7 JF. They have the 35-point lead, and Mount Airy may snap it. They don't have to between the 4-second play clock to game clock disparity. Francis does get it off in time. Handoff, Mason left side, 50. Crosses into JF territory, 45-40. And down off the left side, seam to about the 36. And that's a good run for Mason of about 20. And that's how the third quarter will wrap up. 42-7, JF leading Mount Airy. We'll come back with the fourth quarter after this on JF Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
In most things, it's hard to go from ordinary to extraordinary. It's easy with your home or business. Call the Concrete Wizard and transform your place into an extraordinary space. If you're tired of looking at unsightly concrete, then bring light to your old surfaces. Call the Concrete Wizard for free design consultations, free estimates, and fast professional concrete resurfacing. And visit theconcretewizard.com for ideas from other before and after photos. Thursday in the Fast Lane, Hall of Fame running back and Heisman Trophy winner Eddie George joined us as he's now the coach at Bowling Green. They'll host Liberty Saturday, and Eddie George mentioned what he likes about Liberty's program, although it won't be something he admires when they square off Saturday afternoon. Hear more, Fast Lane Ed Lane, where you listen to podcasts. Connect, Fast Lane Ed Lane, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and join TJ Friday in the Fast Lane, 5 to 6 p.m., VTR and Sports app, 93.3 FM, and ask your smart speaker, open VTR and Sports.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Start of the fourth quarter, and it's a handoff to Mason off the right side of his Granite Bear offensive line. Hits his way down to the 34, gains 3. That was a 1st and 10 run for 2nd and 7. We have a running clock, and it's going to run anyway because that was a running play. 42-7, Jefferson Forest the lead as we start the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the Granite Bears come back all of a sudden now with that little inside zone, and they had a little bit of success with it the last series. Came right back to it. It's had some pretty good runs so far, but our first half, that play did not work at all for them, but now it's gaining them a little bit of yardage right here as they are again knocking on the door as they move into JF territory here.
Granite Bears have it. Shotgun snap from the 34. Handoff to Mason, right side. Coughs it up. He had it poked out of there by Johnson, and they're going to say it was recovered by Mount Airy. And,
Well,
off of the course tonight.
He put it on the ground right there, and luckily it got a pretty good bounce. It looked like it actually came back up to him when he was able to dive back on the football. But again, they have just stuck with the same run play right there, that inside zone to number 5, Kylan Mason right now. He is the only offense that's happened so far this second half for the Granite Bears.
And they've been without their top running back, Tayshawn Martin, here this evening. Don't know what difference that would have made. He's explosive, which is helpful. And a handoff to Mason instead into the teeth of this JF pursuing defense. Gets down to the 29, picks up 1. 4th down and about 2 coming up for the Granite Bears.
I understand when you got to play this working, but they have run that inside zone to Kylan Mason now 4-5 times in a row, probably almost 6 if you go back to the last series that they had. That's it. They're not throwing the ball. The quarterback's not sprinting out. They're not passing the football anymore. They're simply running that inside zone. That's the only play call they've done in the last probably 5 to 6 plays.
And now we'll see what Mount Airy draws up here on 4th down and 2 from the JF 29. They're down 42-7, 9:41 and a working clock in the 4th quarter. It's a low snap to Francis. Drops back, tries to dive on it. Now there's a pileup. Doesn't really matter who has it because it was 4th down. It'll be JF football on the low snap that Francis wasn't ready to retrieve. And it's a loss of about 20, and that's where JF will take over.
Well, I tell you what, I mean, the wheels have really started to come off down here in Mount Airy for the Granite Bears, and that snap right there just was rolled on the ground through the legs of the quarterback right there, and that was probably a loss of about 20 yards straight back, and the clock has never stopped. It's just continued to run right here, and now we're starting to see Coach Cruz able to start thinking about putting some substitutes in.
Yeah, you can really start getting creative with things if you're JF. They've got some starters in right now. It's a handoff to Charleston Harris. He's one of the backup running backs. Inside carry, about 1.5 yards to 2. And now we're starting to see some backups make their way onto the field for JF.
Great move right here. You want to get some of these second, third team guys playing time right here. They work just as hard as anybody in the practice time. And again, there is no better feeling as a coach to know that you have this kind of secure lead right here and let some of those other guys get on the field. That is such a great feeling as a coach.
Jack Lee off, backs Roland off, Cam Fox, Gabe Barnett, and Xander Coleman off. I'd be shocked if we see any of them here this evening. Peyton Jackson, the quarterback, is on the field, but let's keep it real. The only reason he's on with 8 minutes and a working running clock in the 4th quarter is to hand it off to somebody, and this time it's an offside penalty that's going to be called on Mount Airy. Is sprinting into the neutral zone was McKinnon Hyatt, and as big as he is at 6'3", 240, he just went plowing into Logan Hamilton, the right tackle, and it'll just be an offside, but if he gets that aggressive on a shove the next time, it might be a little bit more than that.
Well, I tell you what, he hasn't been doing that during the game because he has not been making any tackles really that we've been able to call. And for him firing out like that, he was getting no resistance right there on that block from Logan Hamilton. That was just a free shot. He decided to take it.
One receiver to the right, one to the left. Now it's going to be 2nd and 4 for JF. Clock under 7:15 in the 4th quarter. Man in motion, handoff right up the middle, bouncing out of one tackle, and then not much more yardage after contact. A gain of, we'll call it about 1 for Bentley Jones. 3rd down and 3 coming up for JF. And like you mentioned, this is shifted from getting to the Impact Church end zone to getting some experience for backups if you're JF as being the goal.
Well, it does. I think they got most of the second-team offensive line in there right now, too, and that's, again, going to make things a little bit easier on the defensive front for the Granite Bears because the first-team group of linemen did a great job of blocking those guys and not even letting them be part of the game plan on stopping the run.
Justin Lester is the deep back with the knee brace on his right knee. And we'll see if he gets his first carry. He will into the defense of the Granite Bears. He keeps his legs moving, showing some power despite that knee brace. Down to the 41, needed 4, gain 6. That's a first down for JF.
Well, they just wholesaled the whole rest of the front line right now, so they definitely got second-team guys up in here all across the board, pretty much other than quarterback Peyton Jackson still just taking a snap and handing off to people.
Next week, we will be at Liberty for the Seminole District opener and another Bedford County battle on JF Cavalier Football, presented by TrostLaw.com. Your Central VA Flooring kickoff show will start at 6:30. Jackson to work under center. Lester, the deep back again, and again splitting over to the left side. Basics is there's a man in motion. This time it's a handoff left side. Michael Pert, and he's off left tackle down from the 40 to the 36. 5-yard pickup for JF, and under 5 minutes to go is in all likelihood what we'll see on this clock, as it's at 5:20 and they still yet to set the play clock.
Yeah, no, the play clock, the 30-second clock, I didn't know they cut that off with the running clock right now. So I guess that means you could probably stay in the huddle if you wanted. They might not call a penalty on you.
No delay of game, I guess. I love that in my house. I'm late to everything. My wife would be very upset. She would not go for that. That would be a John Oates play. No can do. Hand off to Lester right up the middle, and he'll pick up about 4 more yards down to the 31 for JF. And it should, and it is, enough for a first down. They give him some forward progress down to the 19.
Great job here by these second teamers now, really getting a chance to step into the game right here, down here in Mount Airy, saying they took some snaps in North Carolina for this big victory right now. That the Cavaliers, this is going to make the bus trip home so much better, coming down here playing this kind of solid football against a pretty good team on the huff from North Carolina that we didn't know a lot about.
Yeah, they had a 43-game winning streak snapped in the state quarterfinals last year. Before that, they were the 2-time defending state champions for the Mount Airy Granite Bears. There's a lot of pedigree, and they started this year off 2-0 before suffering that 61-7 loss at Watauga last week, which they were 3-0 after that loss. And Watauga is a bigger school. Mount Airy, they play in the lowest, smallest Class 1A, and they've been a dominant program at that level. Think along the lines of like an Alta Vista-sized school, relatively speaking.
Yeah, but definitely coming out, the eye test, they did not look like a small A-size type school. They definitely have some size and some athleticism that they could put together here.
Will Isaiah Campbell get another run after that 3-yard pickup on first down? He will. Goes into the middle of the line of scrimmage. Not much doing there. It'll bring up 3rd and about 7 for JF. The clock will go under 3 minutes to go. It's 42-7. JF's going to get a victory here at Mount Airy. When you're looking at the FYAA offensive and defensive players of the game, I think Pearson Brooks is your leading candidate defensively with his ability to get stops. Do you give it to Cam Fox, especially for bouncing back as strong as he did after that initial fumble? Do you give it to Xander Coleman because his big plays really help break this game open? There are a number of ways you could go offensively.
There is, and then you can always go with the other one of looking at the offensive line, just the quality of job they did blocking, opening up the holes. I mean, the run game was 100% all night. I mean, literally they were never in trouble basically running the football. So you may want to consider the offensive line as the players of the game.
You know, I like that. I don't know if the Ellises at FYAA will appreciate having to give out more trophies, but hey, that's a problem that they can address at a later time when they give those awards out at the end of the season, because they are making their case. Pert had the run for JF down to the Granite Bears 17. First down and 10 JF, and they might be able to even kneel on it from here. They won't. They're going to run it. You got backups in. It's reasonable, and it's an interior handoff to Justin Lester. The clock will go under 2 minutes in the fourth quarter. A reminder, life does not give you a 2-minute warning, so swing by the Andy Matthews Insurance Agency to see if an Erie family life insurance policy is right for you.
Yeah, speaking of Andy Matthews, he's actually my insurance agent. He's been my insurance agent ever since I started teaching, all the way back in about 1993. I met up with him, and so yeah, great insurance guy right there, Andy Matthews.
Well, he's your guy, he's our guy, and we're glad to have him as a partner of JF Cavalier Football, presented by TrostLaw.com. 2nd and 8, $1:24 to go in this one, and it's a handoff to Pert, left side, met by a wall of Granite Bear defenders, and he felt like he was hit by some granite as he got hit hard, popped back to about the 16. No gain, 73 seconds. It's counting down. For the Peary and Woolwine the Peary and Woolwine sister store, Crossroads Family Dentistry, Made You Smile play of the game. The Crossroads Family Dentistry Made You Smile play of the game. Do you go give Gabe Barnett's touchdown catch that made it 7-6? JF got on the board. I would vote for the Cam Fox 1-yard touchdown run because that capped off a physical running drive from him and really got him back into the groove after the initial fumble.
Yeah, both of those are good candidates to be used for sure.
What will probably be the final play from scrimmage? A shotgun snap is going to come up to Jackson. We'll see who gets the handoff, and off the right side, it's Bentley Jones, and it's a run of about 1.5 yards to 2, and that will likely wrap this one up. Cavalier players are sprinting back over to the near side. They were going to get another substitution line change in, and now they're just going to walk over to the bench, and that's how this one's going to wrap up, as Coach Cruz imploring the white jersey Cavaliers to head to midfield for a handshake line appearance against the Mount Airy Granite Bears. The seconds tick off. No scoring in the fourth quarter. There did not need to be. The JF Cavaliers, emphatic after falling down 7-0. They took control of Mount Airy, and they earn a 42-0 victory and a 3-0 mark heading into Seminole District play next week.
Well, the question mark coming off of a long bus route, what were the Cavaliers going to look like? And after the initial series and the fumble and going down a touchdown, all that was put aside. They played solid football offensively and defensively the rest of the game, and they controlled the line of scrimmage, which to me was the key. As big and athletic as the Granite Bears looked, they had no answer whatsoever just for the basic fundamentals that the Cavaliers put on them in this 42-7 victory by the Cavaliers.
Yeah, I mean, JF really used their ground game, and it's amazing, Coach, because the Cavaliers can go to the air when the opportunity presents itself, as we saw that on the Gabe Barnett 27-yard wheel route pass, and they had a couple of other throws down the middle, including the wide-open Thax Rowland touchdown reception. But the running game is so diverse in what they can do, from inside to outside to misdirection to sledgehammering approach, and they've got the ability with different runners who all are multifaceted in how they can be utilized. That makes them so lethal, and then you combine that with the ability to set up the pass play, and let's not forget who's going to be our Forest Youth Athletic Association offensive players of the game, but the offensive line is really going to be something that that deserves a lot of credit for JF.
Yeah, they really did look pretty solid. Again, they came down, long bus route. The trip home is going to be so much sweeter now after a solid football game. Came down, they took care of business, did everything they were supposed to. It turned into a business trip for sure. They came down and took care of business against a solid team out of North Carolina that nobody really knew a lot about, but great job again, great job coaching. It all comes back to the coaching, getting them the right game plan, all the week long, practicing over and over again, being prepared to step on the field and do what you practice. And Coach Cruz and his coaching staff, one of the best in the area for sure.
No doubt about it. And if you look at how JF's performed, they really have earned this 3-0 start to their season, coming down with the point of pride. So they'll have a fun bus ride back. They'll get back in the late evening / early morning, depending on how you want to term it, but they will have a good way to go with that. Meanwhile, we will turn it over to our own Ty Tracy so we can get dismantled from this lift here at Mount Airy. Thankfully, we were safely and securely up here the entire night, so no need to call the personal injury experts at Trost Law for any assistance with that. We dodged that one, at least this evening. Prayers that we continue to dodge that in our travels and in the team's travels and everyone else, especially here tonight, and for those that were down here as well. In the meantime, thank you for joining us. When we come back, it'll be Ty Tracy with our post-game show to give you the FYA offensive and defensive players of the game, as well as the Crossroads Family Dentistry Made You Smile play of the game. This is Jefferson Forest Cavalier football presented by TrostLaw.com, where the JF Cavaliers improved to 3-0 on the season with a 42-7 victory, dropping the Mount Airy Granite Bears themselves to 3-2 on the season.
After the long road trip to Mount Airy, Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com returns to Bedford County as JF begins Seminole District play at the Liberty Minutemen. Your Central VA Flooring kickoff show starts at 6:30 this Friday, September 19th. Join us on the Virginia's Talk Station app, 100.9 FM Lynchburg, 95.5 FM Bedford, and Open Virginia Talk Radio Network on your smart speaker. JF Football is also presented by Apple Auto Glass, Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Bedford, Claude Smith Plumbing, Impact Church, and the Concrete Wizard. Thursday in the Fast Lane, we previewed Liberty at Bowling Green this coming weekend in high school football with Bowling Green head football coach, former Heisman Trophy winner and NFL running back Eddie George. Hear more on that, plus his thoughts on HBCU coaches like Michael Vick at Norfolk State. Fast Lane Ed Lane, where you listen to podcasts. Connect Fast Lane Ed Lane, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and join us Friday in the Fast Lane. TJ will have you covered looking ahead to the football weekend. The Fast Lane, 5 to 6 p.m., BTR and Sports app, 93.3 FM.
Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford is proud to be a sponsor of Jefferson Forest High School football. At Magic City, we take great pride in our community and the people who call it home. And when it comes to providing Bedford and the surrounding communities with outstanding sales and service, Magic City leads the way. Stop in at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford at 1750 Independence Boulevard or shop us at MagicCityBedford.com. MagicCityBedford.com.
It's the perfect time to take your car to Meineke to make sure your engine starts perfectly this year. Whether you need tires, brakes, engine repairs, or simply an oil change, Meineke has you covered with certified technicians, free digital e-inspections with pictures and videos, and financing options. They're there to not only help you start your engine, but keep it running smoothly all year long. They're your one-stop shop for car care needs. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke, doing car care right.
In most things, it's hard to go from ordinary to extraordinary. It's easy with your home or business. Call the Concrete Wizard and transform your place into an extraordinary space. If you're tired of looking at unsightly concrete, then bring light to your old surfaces. Call the Concrete Wizard for free design consultations, free estimates, and fast professional concrete resurfacing. And visit theconcretewizard.com for ideas from other before and after photos. Got a crack problem? You know the symptoms. Poor reaction time. Can't see straight. Endless financial mess. Apple Auto Glass knows cracks in your windshield lead to serious problems for you and everyone on the roads. So bring your car to Apple Auto Glass as soon as you see the crack. Apple Auto Glass is still locally owned on Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg, so you'll speak with Harold, not Mystery Man from an 800 number. They'll handle insurance claims too. Apple Auto Glass, your local shop ensuring fast solutions to your windshield crack problems.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrostLaw.com.
Welcome to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrustLaw.com, and we are at the post-game show. Everyone, this is how you get the victory, 42-7, as JF take the W home, a 3-hour back home, beating the Mount Airy Granite Bears 42-7. That was a great win. I feel like this is a great win to head into it is a great win to head to district play, but I think it really turns to another level. I feel like it's just a good win, but it was an amazing win. You went down to North Carolina, a team you never heard of, a team that got winning history, winning consecutive state titles, and all you hear about, they just a powerhouse program. And they just didn't just beat them. They dominated. They really dominated the whole game from the first quarter. Well, the first quarter was really shaky. The first few minutes of the game was really shaky. You could tell that it was a lot nervous, but like midway, like probably like 5 minutes left to the first quarter, that's when they start turning on. They were okay, we can beat this team. We know who they are. We know how they play, and that's when they start clicking on all cylinders. So I just feel like that's their best win for real in as a conference play and non-district play, and that's how you do it right there. And what can you say? They dominate on the line of scrimmage, from the line of scrimmage all the way from the first level, second level, all that, and then even on both sides of the ball, defense came out shutting teams out, and that's how you play for real. I mean, they held them to 7 points, and that's a powerhouse team. 7 points, defense looks amazing, and that's how you play it. So I feel like they deserve a lot of credit, and then players should definitely celebrate on it tonight. So that's how you get the win. So for one, let's go out FYAA players of the game. Let's go to the offense side of the ball as we got the O-linemen, the big boys up front, all five. We got Cassie, Bell, Mandel, Sparker, and Logan Hamilton. That's how you get the win. And defense side, we got Pearson Brooks. I mean, what can you say? That's how the O-linemen deserve a lot of credit. They really dominated. They definitely should win. That's how you won offensive player of the game, for the FYA players of the game. Then the player of the game, May You Smile player of the game goes to Cam Fox, and he got the 1 yard touchdown. The 1 yard touchdown to increase the lead. And I just feel like they just played great overall. But I'm gonna say shout out to Cam Fox getting a May You Smile player of the game. Then Pearson Brooks getting the FYA defensive player of the game, and offensive lineman FYA offensive player of the game goes to a whole O-line. They deserve. I hope somebody take them out to eat. Coach, you better take them out to eat for what they did. But overall, great game, y'all boys. That's how you do it. Now next week they start district play. They play against, I say, Bedford County rival part 2 as they open up with their Liberty Bedford next week at Liberty Bedford Mini-Men. So I think it's going to be a really good game and stuff. So that's all the recap games. Now next, I'm going to give you final scores and updates around the area and some college football. This is the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrustLaw.com.
After the long road trip to Mount Airy, Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TrustLaw.com returns to Bedford County as JF begins Seminole District play at the Liberty Minutemen. Your Central VA Flooring kickoff show starts at 6:30 this Friday, September 19th. Join us on the Virginia's Talk Station app, 100.9 FM Lynchburg, 95.5 FM Bedford, and Open Virginia Talk Radio Network on your smart speaker. JF Football is also presented by Apple Auto Glass, Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Bedford, Clyde Smith Plumbing, Impact Church, and the Concrete Wizard. Got a crack problem? You know the symptoms. Poor reaction time. Can't see straight. Endless financial mess. Apple Auto Glass knows cracks in your windshield lead to serious problems for you and everyone on the roads. So bring your car to Apple Auto Glass as soon as you see the crack. Apple Auto Glass is still locally owned on Allegheny Avenue in Lynchburg, so you'll speak with Harold, not Mystery Man from an 800 number. They'll handle insurance claims too. Apple Auto Glass, your local shop ensuring fast solutions to your windshield crack problems.
Coach Kennedy here, and I'm here to introduce you to the fastest growing church in Forest, Virginia, Impact Church. If you want to find out how to be on the winning team for eternity, Impact Church is a place for you. Here is more now from Pastor Brad.
Hello, everybody. This is Pastor Brad from Impact Church in Forest, and I want to extend a special invitation to you and your family to join us each Sunday at 10 a.m. at our new location in the Jefferson Forest High School auditorium. We are a church that stands on and preaches all of God's word unashamedly because we believe and know that God changes lives through his word. Impact has a heart for evangelism, a mission to make disciples who follow Christ, and we are active in our community. The Spirit of the Lord is moving. God is doing an amazing work through Impact Church, and we would love for you and your family and friends to come be a part of it as we make an impact for Christ. We look forward to meeting you this Sunday at 10 a.m. at Jefferson Forest High School.
Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford is proud to be a sponsor of Jefferson Forest High School football. At Magic City, we take great pride in our community and the people who call it home. And when it comes to providing Bedford and the surrounding communities with outstanding sales and service, Magic City leads the way. Stop in at Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bedford at 1750 Independence Boulevard or shop us at MagicCityBedford.com. MagicCityBedford.com.
In most things, it's hard to go from ordinary to extraordinary. It's easy with your home or business. Call the Concrete Wizard and transform your place into an extraordinary space. If you're tired of looking at unsightly concrete, then bring light to your old surfaces. Call the Concrete Wizard for free design consultations, free estimates, and fast professional concrete resurfacing. And visit theconcretewizard.com for ideas from other before and after photos. This Friday, September 19th, Seminole District play begins for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com. The JF Cavaliers visit the Liberty Minutemen in another Bedford County battle. Your Central VA Flooring kickoff show begins at 6:30 on the Virginia's Talk Station app, 100.9 FM Lynchburg, 95.5 FM Bedford, and Open Virginia Talk Radio Network on your smart speaker. JF football is also presented by Cavalier Theater's presentation of Bye Bye Birdie, Crossroads Family Dentistry, Forest Youth Athletic Association, Meineke Car Care, and the Andy Matthews Insurance Agency.
Getting you set for Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com.
Welcome back to the Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football, presented by TrostLaw.com post-game show. Now, here are your final scores, and some games are playing high school football around the area, as it's a tight ball game right now. Amherst is up 19-0 against Mecklenburg. Buckingham gets the win against Wayne County 55-0, as Glenvar gets the win against Cave Springs 49-3. Williamsburg beats Christiansburg 38-0. Brookville gets the big win against Halifax 49-0. Excuse me, everyone. It's a tight ball game right now between GW, Danville, and EC Glass Hilltoppers, as right now the score is 10-10. Bassett gets the win against Dan River 52-14. Heritage gets the win against Appomattox 35-7. Magna gets the win against Rustburg 41-13. It's a tight game between Patrick Henry and Frank County, as Patrick Henry is up by 8 points, 22-14. Excuse everyone. As it's a close game between Alta Vista and Lower Bottas. Lower Bottas up 35-21 against Alta Vista. Northside gets the win against Hidden Valley 45-0, and William Fleming, as the game's still going, as William Fleming is up by 2 scores against Salem 21-7. Now that's your scores around the area. Let's go to some college, as I'm announced the college as I announced our VTRN games for tomorrow and NFL Sunday. As for tomorrow, we got number 12 Clemson versus Georgia Tech, as coverage starts at 11:30, kickoff starts at 12. Number 6 Georgia versus number 15 Tennessee, as coverage starts at 3, kickoff starts at 3:30. Excuse me. ODU versus Virginia Tech, as coverage starts at 5 o'clock, kickoff starts at 7. As VTRN Sports Network, triple header games for tomorrow, we got Clemson versus Georgia Tech, coverage starts at 11:30, kickoff starts at 12. Georgia versus Tennessee, coverage starts at 3, kickoff starts at 3:30. Then ODU versus Virginia Tech, as coverage starts at 5 o'clock and kickoff starts at 7. And then our NFL triple header for Sunday, as we got the New York Football Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. Coverage starts at 12:30, kickoff starts at 1. The Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs as a Super Bowl rematch, with kickoff starts at, coverage starts at 3:45, kickoff starts at 4:25 p.m. Then we got the Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. Kickoff starts at 8:20 p.m. Then coverage starts at 6 p.m. Then, as I say again, the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. Game starts at 1 p.m. Coverage starts at 12:30. Philadelphia Eagles versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Coverage starts at 3:45. Kickoff starts at 4:25 p.m. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. Excuse me, coverage starts at 6 p.m. Kickoff starts at 8:20 p.m. As Monday doubleheader, we got the Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Houston Texans. As coverage starts at 6 p.m. Game kicks off at 7. Then we got the LA Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders, as coverage starts at 9 p.m. Kickoff starts at 10. As I said for Monday, Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Houston Texans. Coverage starts at 6 p.m. Kickoff starts at 7. The LA Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Coverage starts at 9 p.m. Kickoff starts at 10. That's all our VTRN games for tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. Then let's go to some college football updates. As Syracuse beating Colgate 45-3. Tight game between Houston and Colorado. As right now, Houston's up 16-7 against Colorado. Game started with Kansas State versus Arizona. Is a scoreless game. A big win for Indiana as the game's still going. Indiana is beating Indiana State 66-0. So that's all for your college football. Your JL football, JF get the win. They put a 3-0. Now they head into district play. They open up with the Liberty Bedford Minimen. Now, that's everything for tonight. I gave y'all what y'all needed. We gave y'all football. That's how we end the night on a perfect Friday. Now, thank you for listening to the Jefferson Forest football. Thank you for listening to Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TroSlaw.com post game show. Now we are heading to our local channels on WIQO. I'll see y'all next Friday.
In most things, it's hard to go from ordinary to extraordinary. It's easy with your home or business. Call the Concrete Wizard and transform your place into an extraordinary space. If you're tired of looking at unsightly concrete, then bring light to your old surfaces. Call the Concrete Wizard for free design consultations, free estimates, and fast professional concrete resurfacing. And visit theconcretewizard.com for ideas from other before and after photos. After the long road trip to Mount Airy, Jefferson Forest Cavaliers football presented by TroSlaw.com returns to Bedford County as JF begins Seminole District play at the Liberty Minutemen. Your Central VA Flooring kickoff show starts at 6:30 this Friday, September 19th. Join us on the Virginia's Talk Station app, 100.9 FM Lynchburg, 95.5 FM Bedford, and Open Virginia Talk Radio Network on your smart speaker. JF Football is also presented by Apple Auto Glass, Magic City Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Bedford, Clyde Smith Plumbing, Impact Church, and the Concrete Wizard.
Choose a new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee and get retail bonus cash up to $3,500 off MSRP. Hurry in for huge final days discounts